Obunu gini kama chozunu Imana chukwa kosi womo Onyele miu Nyelu yumi What am I looking for? See my God, he don't bless me, yo. He give you me, give me you. Obun kife la chasha so, obun kife me chasha me. My baby, you know say you go love me. Hey, yeah. I do go, I could go. When I call your name, Shakara for me. Oh, Roma, I will be your Romeo. You go be my Julie. Roma, I will be your Romeo. You go be my Julia. Oh, give me your love and I'll go run away. Show me your love and I'll go use you play. Carry me, go me, I go follow you way. Follow you, they go. Maka Munagi, me and you. Okwa Munagi, my baby, and me and you. Me and you. Okwa Munagi, my baby, oh. Obuzi kife la chasha so, obuni kife la chasha me oh. My baby, you know say you go love me. I do go, I could go. When I call your name, Shakara for me. Oh, Roma, I will be your Romeo. You go be my Julie. Yeah. Roma, I will be your Romeo. You will be my Julia. Oh, Roma, I will be your Romeo. You will be my Julia. I will be your Romeo. You will be my Julia. Obuzi kife la chasha so, obuzi kife mi chasha me. My baby, you know say you go love me. I do go. I could go. When I call you, Shakara for me. Roma, I will be your Romeo. You will be my Julia. I will be your Romeo. You will be my Julia. Oh, yeah.
Good morning, everybody. It's been a long time. Good morning. We are here again, as usual, for our Sunday service. We're here to talk about different issues of life. If you have any good contribution, you can come join us in the studio. So our first story this morning is if you want to add stress to your life, date a Nigerian man. Do you agree with us? Woman, you can go ahead and play the video.
All right. Thank you, Dupsy. So I'm just going to play this clip. It's somewhat lengthy, but I'll just play a little bit of it just to set the background. I don't know if you can hear the audio.
Yes, I can.
Hey, guess what? What? I'm engaged. What? Who's the new guy? Girl, listen, we were trying to keep it on the low, but his name is Marcus Thompson. He's a doctor? Yes. He drives a Mercedes? Yes. Does he have a birthmark on his forehead? Girl, yes. Bitch, that's my boyfriend.
In South Africa, some women, especially like these affluent women that like the flashy lifestyle, they prefer Nigerian guys because the Nigerian guys they give money.
Yeah.
So whether they're dating you or it's just a one night smash, the Nigerian guys still pay money.
Okay.
And my man, thank you to my man. And my man, thank you to my man. And my man, thank you to my man.
I'm addicted, so I can't quit.
That's what I do for you. Hey! Hey!
We've got to have money.
See, the type of love a Nigerian man will give you. He will give you the love that you've never seen before because he knows how to spend money. It's sweet and it's spicy, but they will embarrass you. He will embarrass you. He will embarrass you. He will embarrass you.
Before we start this video, I want to play a game with you. The rules are simple. Don't worry about it. And the rules are, I will tell you 2 lies and 1 truth. I want you to spot the truth. Yeah, it should be easy, right? First statement, I am Nigerian. Second statement, Nigerian men have a bad reputation when it comes to dating. Third statement, I am Nigerian.
Wait a minute. Who are you?
Yeah, I'm not Nigerian, of course, even though sometimes people assume that I'm from Nigeria, but I'm not Nigerian. But there is something I realized. When you are in the experience I'm getting is the best ever.
One thing I have realized as an American woman since I stopped dating American men and I started dating African men, more so Nigerian men, is we as women were and are settling for the bare minimum with American men. Example, Nigerian men, African men, whatever, they will bow down to your feet, literally. They will not watch you struggle. They know how to take care of home. They know how to respect their marriage, in a sense. And I love American men. Don't get me wrong. I'm American myself. But I feel like our men weren't raised to, a lot of us grew up in broken homes. So it's just normal in America for our men not to know, how to treat their women or how to love properly or just how to be masculine in a sense. So this is your sign to stop dating men and settling for men because that is your type. Try something different. I started dating African men a few years ago. I will never look back.
What do you want to say about this?
So it has come to my attention that Nigerian men are currently enjoying some premium adverts and marketing. The girlies want to try them out and see what's going on. We want to date a Nigerian guy. Before you go ahead and do that, there are a few things you should know. Number 1, if a Nigerian man ever calls you and says you are his wife and says, I'm going to marry you, can you come back? I will come. Agbeni, please understand that the man is just flirting with you. Wallahi, that's how they do. But one is extra. All their own things is extra. They will call you their wife. It comes so easy. It doesn't take much from that to call you my wife. Nami go marry you. It does not mean it. It's just flirting. You know who did not know she was being flirted with? Steph London. Because she was on radio talking about, Burna Boy, he calls me his wife and he says he's going to marry me. We're going to have kids. I'm like, Stephanie, Burna is just flirting with you. Wallahi. Number 2, his friends are not your friends. And I know this is Nigerian men always big, overdoing is their own. His friends are not your friends. They will make you feel special. They will pamper you, shower you with encomiums, tell you about how they're so happy you're in his life because he's been through so much and you bring back so much peace and love. Like, look at him. He's so happy. They like him this way. They love you. Kinika. My dear, don't believe the hype. Take a little bit and leave the rest alone, okay? Because those same friends are going to be the best men at the wedding to the woman he told you not to worry about. And even in that same friend group, there is somebody in there that is secretly hoping you would love them the same way you love their friend. They want to be, they're ready to step in if ever steps out of line. Number 3, his mom is also not your mom. Again, some of you really believe the hype too much that you start to play
daughter-in-law duties and you don't even have the ring. Be using your brain, shine your eye, open your ear. Don't be doing too much. No, do pass yourself. Because his mom knows all of his girlfriends. I know. Because when you come, she will call you Yawowa, my dear, can you call, show up, bawoni, mommy, call. Whatever you want to be doing for his mommy, do it for your own mommy. Don't be going to her house to go and be doing her laundry or the NCL there. You are going to the grocery shopping. When you come there on Monday, somebody is there on Wednesday, another person is there on Friday. Me. His mom knows all of his girlfriends. And at any point in time, his mom would always choose a son over you. Okay? So don't be doing too much. We will continue this conversation, but I gotta go now.
5 disadvantages dating a Nigerian man. Nigerian men are very proud of themselves. That is why you may find them sometimes exaggerating or faking things. Second, Nigerian men are dominant. That is why sometimes when they marry a white woman, it can intervene the cultural clash, because independent woman doesn't go very well hand in hand with Nigerian man. Third, Nigerian men may not tell you, but many of the tribes are polygamous. So if you are dating a Nigerian man, please be very specific from the beginning, whether you like it or you don't like it, or you will accept it or you don't accept it. Nigerian men are very proud of their roots. Therefore, if you are dating a Nigerian man and if you are a white, whether you like it or not, you must visit Africa. And fifth is that Nigerian men does not show so much emotions. The love bombing that they may show you at the beginning, it may be a way of attracting you in their side, but generally they do not say I love you all the time.
10 reasons why you shouldn't date a Nigerian man.
So number 1 is probably a fuck boy. Yeah. So what do I mean by fuck boy? They like to sleep around. Number 2 is polygamous in nature. Yeah. So still related to the number 1, that being a fuck boy. Polygamous in nature is that you might want to have 2 to 3 girlfriends at a time. And number 3 is probably going to cheat on you. Also, this has nothing to do with my personal experience. This is from Google.
Are the things being talked about them right or true? Of course they are true. I wouldn't be making this video if I thought they were a lie, to be honest.
Is it finished, Roman?
Yes. All right. So that guy goes on to run his commentaries, but I think we get the broad strokes of where he is. So Chioma joins us. Always a delight when Chioma is here, and the majestic Adama, of course. Your crew. You're also all your crew have assembled. But let me just say this, and then I'll shut my mouth. Nigerian men seem to be like an international flavor at the moment. Every single woman, the Latinos, the Asians, historically, the whites have always lusted after black people, and Nigerian men are the preeminent black men at the moment. The whole of Africa, go to Kenya, all you have to say is I'm Nigerian, and all the girls fall at your feet. Rwanda, everywhere. So the Nigerian man is a flavor globally at the moment. I think that's universally known. But the Nigerian man is ready, but the world doesn't seem to be ready for the Nigerian man, because at the last lady that was speaking, the Nigerian man, especially your southwestern man, but really especially your southern man, I think the Igbos, the South, the Yorubas, I think we all gravitate in that direction. But really, the whole of Nigeria, the Nigerian man feels he belongs to all of the ladies that is available to him. So if you feel that you have some sort of exclusive relationship with the Nigerian man, especially if you're outside of that culture, then you're in for a psychological beating. You know, not that they are cruel, but it's just that they are lascivious in nature. They love women and they want to have their fill of everything that's available. So if you're not tuned into that sort of cultural mindset, and like the white girl was saying, you know, you're in for a real psychological beating. But the Nigerian man, it comes with excitement and it comes with stress.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Roman. Hello, Choma and Adama. How are you?
Welcome back, Miss
Thank you.
Dupsy.
Thank you,
We missed
Choma.
you. We missed you. Choma,
Thank you,
welcome
Adama.
back.
Thank you so much for joining me. These are my co-hosts. Thank you so much for joining me this Sunday morning. Thank you, Choma. Thank you, Adama. I'm so grateful for you girls. One man, I beg to differ. I think this topic is just hammering on Nigeria men as if they're special breed. No, human beings are the same all over the world. So people should try and get that. So if you castigate a Nigerian man for being so cruel to a woman, then you see another Nigerian man that's so kind, peaceful, good natured and everything to another woman. And that's the way it is with Asians, Caucasians, Black Americans, you know, all over Africans. We are all human. We should all try and understand that. If you see a particular race that is bad to you, don't generalize that this race, they're so bad, they're not good, they don't treat the women nicely. No, it's particular to people's trauma, how people were raised in a particular home. So if you're not raised properly, if you don't have love in you, you can give it to somebody else. So don't castigate a particular race that they are like this. Black men are like this. Now Nigerian men are like this. No. For example, I've been married to an Ijebu man for the past 24 years. I'm from Ondo State. And most of my aunties, my grandmother, all of them say, Ijebu people, they're bad. They're not, you know, they're stingy. I don't think I can ever ask for a better husband. He's a very good man. And if I come back to this world, I'm going to get married to him. Do you understand? So you can't generalize that Ijebu people are bad or your people are bad or, you know, people have different kinds of their childhood demons that they're fighting. Either you're Caucasian, African, Asian, wherever you come from. It depends on how you're raised. If you're not raised with love, you can give it out. So if you want to choose a partner, make sure you're looking well from the background, especially, so that you won't come and start facing what you're not supposed to face in that relationship. A lot of people are traumatized. I keep on saying it on this program. So people weren't raised properly. People, you know, they don't have that opportunity of somebody good raising them. So they're quite traumatized. They exhibit different kind of traits in their adult, you know, in their adulthood. They are not matured for that kind of a relationship that people are expecting them to be.
Dupsy, there's a phrase common in here in the UK, which I think might well be an international phrase. They call it Yoruba demons. So, are you familiar with that phrase? And
I am. It's just because we're loud.
How do you think it came about?
There are a lot of Asians demons. There are a lot of Caucasian demons. It's just because we are loud. We are too loud. That's why we exaggerate anything we're doing. They will say Nigerians are frosters. Are all Nigerians frosters? So we just exaggerate. We are loud. You know, that's our nature. That's why people are saying Yoruba demons. I don't know Asian demons. I don't know Caucasian demons. I don't know Black American demons. So I don't know the Igbo demons or Hausa demons. People are bad depending on how they're raised. You don't know the kind of demon that person is fighting. You don't know how that person was raised. You don't know the kind of abuse that person faced.
You don't concede that I'm talking about international women. You don't concede that you need unique and special skills to be able to date a Nigerian man.
What skill are you talking about? What skill?
What skill are you talking about, woman? Is
I,
there a
I'm just
special skill for Nigerian men? Is that what you're saying?
well, there has to be now the way we are. I'm not talking about physical skills, but I'm talking about
Uh-huh.
mental. You know, the way we are wired is somewhat different from the normal man. You
No,
know,
no, no.
I
I
don't
don't
think
agree.
so.
No,
I
no, I
don't
don't
agree
think
to.
so. I don't agree because let me tell you, woman. Sorry, Dupsy, are you done? I don't want to
Go
interrupt you.
ahead. Go ahead, Adama.
Woman, you need to realize one thing. There's something Miss Dupsy said. When you mentioned something about Yoruba demon or something like that, I've heard that phrase. The thing is, I don't think it should be Yoruba demon. It should be Nigerian demon. Our men are very braggadocious. They are so, I mean, they like to show off. They like to show off. Hardly not, I'm not going to say all our men, all Nigerian men, some of Nigerian men, they love to show off. You only see few who are laid back, quiet, who are ballers. They will come into a room, you will not know they are there. But they are ballers. But they're just quiet, calm. But the average, when you see the percentage of those that are loud, is so much. And another thing she touched on was trauma. The truth is, if I had it my way, if you want to get involved in a marriage relationship, anything you want to do, I think both parties, both the man and the woman, they need to be evaluated psychiatric wise, psychological wise, because guess what? A lot of us, both the women and men, are coming into the relationship with trauma. So
You're
if you
just spot
don't
on,
address those
Adama.
issues,
You're just spot
you're going
on.
to
I
end
agree
up,
with that.
yes?
And Adama, there's another thing. Before you have a child too, you have to reevaluate yourself. If you're ready,
Yes.
physically, psychologically, mentally, if you're ready, before you start raising another human being, then you traumatize that child again. So it's very important. I love your point. Go ahead, my sister.
Yeah,
you,
you have to
you're
give
not speaking to
clarity.
realism, though. You're not speaking
No,
to
but
realism.
no, but woman, what I'm trying to say for women, we need clarity. A woman wants to know what part she plays in your life. There's some women, even if you give them that clarity, they will still produce chaos because that's all they've known all their life. They came from a chaotic relationship, they grew up in a chaotic environment, so that's all they know. And those women, those are the time you start to reevaluate yourself and not blame other people. You start looking at yourself as the problem because it's no longer that person because you're acting out. You're like being in a normal relationship is not normal to you. You're used to chaos. So when you meet someone who is calm, who is you can, no matter if they give you the clarity and everything, you still will produce chaos. So it's very important that we know and understand and be clear about whatever we are coming into the relationship in terms of trauma, abuse. If you've been abused, communicate that with your partner. Communicate that with your partner because we came from a culture and a background where we don't promote therapy. Therapy is very important. All this time they waste and go for marriage counseling. Go for therapy. Sit down and talk to each other. What do you want out of this? This is what I'm battling with. Both of you open up to one another. Because one thing we forget is a lot of our men too have traumas, but ego is what prevents a lot of these men from speaking out. That's all I have to say for now. Thank you.
Thank you so much, my brilliant Adama. I always love your submission. Thank you so much. Chima, my darling.
Yeah.
Let's hear your perspective regarding this. Yeah.
Regarding Niger man, right? Well, first of
Yeah.
all, I agree with one man. I don't remember everything he said, but I do agree with him. I agree with you, Miss Dipsy, also. Adama, though, I don't really. I mean, when you relate trauma with Africans, Nigerian men, it's kind of it's foreign to us. You get what I'm saying? We just learn to deal with our issues. You get my point. So, well, my opinion, I mean, well, okay, so Adama, like,
and
you
Choma,
grew
that's
up in the US.
we are not getting better if we are not talking about trauma. It's always important for all human to talk about trauma. So we can't just
Yes,
say
it's
we want
important
to
because we're
Yeah.
no, because we know this. No, we know this because we're in the Western world. So we're coming from a different perspective. Whereas, some of our people back home, we just learn to deal with that issue. We don't discuss trauma or this.
It's important
stuff.
too. It's important.
It's important.
Human brain is evolving to that
That's what I'm
now.
saying. We're
Yeah.
evolving, but it's still foreign to us. So,
But we have to.
me and Adama.
See.
Yeah, I like how she brought trauma into it, but at the end of the day, it's still that whole trauma and all that stuff is still foreign to Africans, because we just learn how to just deal with the issue and
Choma, don't let
under the rug, and then that goes. Let me go to my submission.
Okay.
After this, we Africans, we sweep things under the rug. The whole trauma thing is really foreign to us, So one thing I know, coming from a Nigerian household, Nigerian men are very predictable, So, and that's one of the reasons it's really easy to love them, and you kind of love to hate them too, because you just know their next move. I don't know if I'm making sense. So, but Nigerian men are not that emotional. That's why I was talking about Adama's point of view. Nigerian men are not that emotional, unless when disrespect is coming into play. You get my point? They're not that emotional, and that's why they're naturally inclined to date like other foreigners, like British women, because they're also not that emotional, like how Americans have like emotional outbursts. They're all into their feelings, like, oh my God, I'm hurt, this and that. Nigerian men are not that emotional. They do what they have to do. They provide, and they take care of their family. And that's that. I mean, if they date outside their marriage, they're not emotional about that. It's just the sex part, It's nothing. There's no attachment to it, I mean, they might end up, they're polygamous in nature, like that lady said. So they're just very predictable. There's nothing too emotional about it. You cannot have like emotional, feelings like dating night. You have to learn to be in control of your emotion when you're dating night and you're a man. You have to have a thick skin. Especially if you grew up in America, you have to have a thick skin. You don't take everything too personal, and you have to learn the culture. So yeah, that's just how I feel.
Chioma, it's also been globally reported that the hook that the Nigerian man has is that they are the best in bed globally as well. But let me play you this clip. I think this clip actually.
You can't say something. Oh, okay, you're about to show us a clip of. Okay, that's good. I'm down.
All right. Listen to this. Tell me if you can hear it.
Have you ever dated an African man before?
I have, yeah.
What country have you dated?
Nigeria and Ghana.
Serious?
Yeah.
On a scale of 1 to 10, how would you rate Nigerian men?
-9.
-9? Oh my God. Okay, so what was your experience like?
Wahala.
Wahala?
I saw the back of my head. Yoruba demons, Igbo ninjas. I've been played. I've suffered.
So Nigerian men have stained your whites with red oil.
I don't know what that means, but yes. Yes.
So what was your relationship with the Ghanaian man like?
It was sweet. It was okay, but it wasn't spicy. There was no pepper in it. There was no pepper.
What? The Nigerian man showed you pepper?
It was too much pepper.
Nigerian men or Ghanaian men?
Nigerian.
So upon all the pepper that Nigerian men have showed you, you still choose them over Ghanaian men?
I mean, yeah.
So what in particular is in a Nigerian man that even after all the pepper that they have shown you, you still want to die on top of their matter?
I mean, the love bombing, the sweet talk, and
I don't know. Tell us. I don't know.
the mujumba, bujumba.
You get it? If you don't get it, forget about it.
Shout out to Nigerian men.
Yeah.
So, woman, is that all?
Yeah, so that's it right there. The Bujumba, as the lady said, it's a globally known fact that in bedroom matters, nobody surpasses the Nigerian man.
And you can't
My
even
question to you,
generalize.
woman, my question to you is where that video was recorded.
Go ahead.
Yeah, the question to you now is where that video was recorded. Was that done in Nigeria or was that done outside Nigeria?
No, we're talking about Nigerian men as an international flavor. It looks like that was done somewhere in the UK.
Okay, thank you. You know why I'm asking that? It goes to what I'm saying. They are here. They are exposed. Go do that same interview with women back home in our community and see how many of them would be bold enough to come to the camera and express how these women were expressing their views. Thank you.
I just don't like the way people generalize things about a particular race or tribe, that this is how they are. How many of them have you dated? How many of them have you experienced that they are the best in bed or they're no good? So people people come in different forms all over the world. We are all humans, and anything can happen to you when you date any particular race. It's not particular to a race that these people are bad. So don't castigate Nigerian men. I'm married to a Nigerian man, and I'm telling you, I'm married to the best man in the
It's
world.
not actually a castigation, it's a badge of honor, that we are an international flavor. All the women in the
Nigerian men
world
will show
want
you
us
shege
now.
when you go out with them. Which badge of honor is that?
Yeah, but women
And
like
the Nigerian
shege
men
now.
will show you shege.
Did you hear what that?
Why?
Women
A
like
traumatized
shege.
woman like shege. A
Women
traumatized
like
woman
shege.
like shege.
Look,
A woman that is raised
I'm not
properly
even
would
going to
like to be
concede to
loved
you on
and to
that
be
one.
cared for.
Women like shege.
Woman, have you started this
Woman,
morning?
you're so wrong. Women don't like
Have you
sugar.
started this morning?
No, they don't. Woman, we
That's
need
what
to
that
stop
lady
saying
just said
that.
now. Women like
No,
shege.
women don't like
shege.
shege. They are tolerating the shege because money is involved. Call it what it is. Yes, they are putting up with the shege because money is involved. Take away the money and just show them that shege. You will see them leave you.
Madam, when I was younger than this, either you're rich or you're poor. As long as I'm dating you, you have to respect me. There is no, I can't even stand a man that doesn't have respect for a woman. So it's not all of us that are traumatized woman. So some of us are looking for respect and to be loved properly the way we are supposed to be loved in a relationship. So don't generalize that women love shaggy.
Yeah, it's just like trauma endurance. Trauma endurance would not be with Davido if money is not involved. I mean,
God bless you. God bless you, Chairman. Every month, Davido is always begging for please. Did you see the video?
That's why
That's
our last name is endurance. Trauma endurance.
Let me just say this. Dupsy, you've got Mike, you've got Gas Them Up, you've got ASAP joining you as well. So how you want to coordinate it? But let me just say this. This lady on the screen right here, she's just giving probably the answer to the thing. She's dated a Nigerian man, and the woman said he showed you pepper. He said that he showed me extra pepper that are -0. And then she's dated a Nigerian, a Ghanaian guy who's sweet and lovely and all of those things. And then at the end of the interview, the woman said, which one do you like? Which one would you go for, Nigerian man or Ghanaian man? She said Nigerian man because of the spice. So that's what she said. So women do like shege, but like I said, you have Gas Them Up, ASAP, and Mike.
Yeah, I'm going to call on Mike first. Mike, my brother, long time.
Yeah, Dupsy, see you're gonna abandon us, eh?
No,
it's not possible. Every Sunday I'm turning on where's Dupsy go now? You don't say This
It's
one
not
man, this thing
possible.
becoming.
You guys are my family. How can I abandon my family? Okay, Mike, you're welcome.
They
Go
happy.
ahead with your contribution. Yeah.
Okay, so let me. Okay, so here's the deal. I'm saying contradictory statements from these women. What is the do I want mouth? They will say Nigerian guys treat them nice, and they are nice, they're sweet, they are spice and all that. On the other hand, they say, "Oh, he broke my heart." Okay, so they will say it's bad. So this is bad. Is it bad because he left, or what is it in their dates? It did he? Because I'll be honest with you, I just think a lot of these women say Nigerian guys usually when they say you are bad, it's because we left. The guy left. Now, here's the deal. Uh there's two things a man wants: a woman he wants to marry and a woman he wants to carry. So a woman he wants to marry is a woman he plans to put in his house and make them introduce to family, and we marry and we start life together. But a woman wants to carry, another word for carry is dating. So I don't think any man is dating a woman for a permanent situation. A beginning of a date is the beginning of the end of the dating, because if I'm trying to date a woman, I'm not planning to date you forever. I just want to date you, and when I'm dating is basically we're trying to have a good time for some period of time, and when I've had enough time, then we'll move on. I don't know if something is wrong with that. To me, that's the way I see dating. That's the way I believe most men understand what dating means. If I'm going out to go date again, if I see one fine babe or one babe, the body, so everything is so she dey shine my eye, and I want to date her. I'm not dating now to date her forever. Now we just want to date and just date and enjoy each other, and eventually, when it's time to move on, I move on. We move on. If she's the first to move on, fine. If I'm the first to move on, fine. But dating is just something we're all doing to have fun. So when people are
Thank you,
saying,
Mike.
and I don't understand why women go out there and start saying these men are bad. These men are bad because he broke my heart. What? So a man left means he broke your heart. So you need to, to me this simple solution, which I always tell my daughter, and my young girls, my family is: listen, if you're gonna be dating, just expect that your heart is gonna be broken at the end. Now, if you don't want your heart broken, go and look for a husband. A man, look for a man that interested in marrying you. And how do you? It's not because if he wants to marry you, means he wants to marry you. A man that wants to marry you will show you the road to where he's going with you. Like, hey, this is what I want to do with you. Come and meet my family. This, and you have that conversation about where you are going, and then you know that okay, and then introduce him to your family, and then you know that you are both coming together to get married. But if you are going to go and say, let's start dating, and at the end of the day, you are coming talking about he's a bad man. I will ask you, if you're telling me a man is bad, did he beat you? Did he rob you? Did he do something bad to you? If you're telling me he's bad because he broke your heart, he left you, why did you get in the first place? So I don't people need to understand, just think women need to understand that. So these days, boys want to date, they want to have fun. It's not like back in the days where it's immoral to be, you know, sleeping outside of marriage. Today, dating is a culture now. It started in the West, now it's global. So people are dating to have a good time. Boys are dating to enjoy themselves. If if you don't want your heart broken, don't date. Even some boys gonna say their heart is broken. Why did you go and date? You go and find you a wife. If you don't want the woman to break your heart, you are dating. There's no contract in dating. In a marriage there's contract, but in dating there's no contract. The person you are dating can leave you anytime. So I don't think these women are saying Nigerian men are bad because we don't treat women well. I think they're saying we are bad because eventually the guy left them. That's what I believe. I don't think they're saying, because I don't think Nigerian guys are bad like that. Though some guys are notorious, so they just.
I can tell you they're bad in London. You know the British girls, and I'm talking outside of the Nigerian British girls. You know, the Indians, they love and loathe. In fact, they fear Nigerian men, but they cannot stay away from them. They just get them all pregnant. They run through the whole family, their friendship system. Bang, 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 bang. Everybody gets pregnant. They move on to the next family.
I don't think they plan those pregnancy. When people have sex too much, eventually it leads to pregnancy. So I mean, if you sleep with the same woman over and over and over and over and over,
Especially the Yorubas and the Igbos in London.
see, let's be fair with this way we describe our Yoruba men and Igbo men. I think it's the urban Niger boys, Lagos boys. Because a Yoruba man that grew up in a rural part, maybe Oshun or an Igbo guy that grew up in a rural part, a village in the east, they don't behave like that. It's those of us that grew up in Lagos, Port Harcourt, Abuja. We are so liberal. I think it's us that have that behavior. So let's try to pay attention. I don't think it's unfair when we start, even when you say, oh, Yoruba boy, Demo, he's cool. He's Lagos boy. He's the streets of Lagos is what turned you to that, that kind of guy. But I don't think a Yoruba boy that grew up in Ilorin, Ibadan, Habibi Ibadan voice, so arrogant. I don't like, or those one, or Ondo or somewhere like that. They are very cultured. It's those of us that grew up in the streets of Lagos that are picked up, that have that behavior. I'm sorry to say, And even the Eastern boys, these Igbo boys are like that. The one that grew up in Lagos, Port Harcourt, Warri, or I don't know which urban part of the southeast. But actually, Igbo man that grew up in the village, he doesn't behave like that, man. Or Yoruba man that grew up in a rural. It's an urban culture. It's an urban Nigerian culture. I'm sorry to say.
Thank you, Mike, for your submission. Gas them up. Are you there?
Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you. Go ahead with your submission.
Yeah. Where you been at, Doopsy? You guys don't want to do the show no more?
No, we're still here. I traveled, and sometimes one man is busy.
Nah, one man is not busy. One man is having his show every day where they, do their usual. He's never busy. Trust me. He was not busy.
But I can't host this part. It has to be hosted by a female host. Yes.
Hi, Gas Them Up. How are you?
Chirma, what you been up to?
I've been good. It's been a minute, but I miss y'all. I'm back.
Yeah, that's good. Adama, is Adama in today? Or she not in?
Yes, I am here. Hi, guys, I'm up.
That's cool. That's cool. You had a bacon, egg, and cheese today? Or you don't eat those?
No, I don't eat bacon.
Okay, so you're not okay. So then you get a chopped cheese.
Yes, a little bit though.
Okay. You get your chopped cheese. That's cool. So look, I won't keep y'all too long. I think Mike said a great point about urban culture and the mentality of living in urban Nigeria and how you approach things very differently than you would approach things if you were more rooted in our rural areas, our villages, and ironically, funny enough, people say Nigeria, all this other stuff. Majority of Nigerians live in rural areas. We don't live in urban dwellings. That's the ironic part. It just shows you the power of the media, of how the image, the typical image you'll see of a Nigerian person is this urban dweller, when the average Nigerian is actually rural. So shout out to Mike for that submission. That was a great point. I think that a lot of us forget. I think in terms of relationships, if the topic is if you want to suffer or date a Nigerian man, I think that what has happened is that our culture has been definitely shaken through colonialism. I always tell people all the time, for example, right? There's nowhere in Yoruba culture that you should beat your wife. But we know it happens, particularly, again, in urban environments, especially amongst the elite, those rich people. When I hear some of my classmates tell me the stories of this person in the island and the wife got beat for 3 months straight, and I'm like, what the hell is going on? Or Igbo people, how do you say Neka, right? That means mother is supreme, right? Right, Chama? Adama, that's what it means?
Are you talking about
Is that what it
Yes.
Neka? Yes.
That's what it means.
Yes. Neka, mother is supreme, right?
Yes.
So there's no people who came up with the term Neka can believe in beating a woman. or abusing a woman. It's impossible. Our language, as I've argued many times on One Man Show, you guys fight me all the time, but our language is one of the keys to escape this colonial problem that we have, because our language doesn't reflect the reality on the ground of how people are behaving. There's nowhere there that says you should abuse women, that you should mistreat them. Now, one man did make an interesting submission that in the modern sense, it does seem that modern women do respond better to, dare I say, abusive, dare I say, nonchalant, aggressive, dismissive behavior than they do towards attentive, caring behavior. And I think the real reason why we see this is because there's a disconnect. And, like, for example, when I was younger, in the U.S., we went to an African American church, and our pastor was from the South and everything. So they have similar, especially the old Southern African Americans, not these modern day people who are just doing nonsense, but it was very similar in terms of respect of your elders and things like that. So you will see that when a woman came into the church and her skirt was too short, those old black women will come with the cloth. As the woman sitting down there, now put the cloth over the skirt, say, "Hey, sweetheart, you can't be, wearing a skirt like this in our church." And I think what has happened is that, and I know you guys might not like this, I'm going to push the responsibility back on the women and the senior women. There's the responsibility, because Doopsy says something very, very important. She said, it's only damaged women who respond to that. And I'm going to make a submission. In my anecdotal opinion, a lot of women are walking around damaged, whether it be issues they have with their father, issues with a boyfriend, things that happen to them, who knows, and whatnot. I'm not Dr. Phil, but my point is that a lot of women do have damage and they got to get their healing. But because of that damage, that's why they gravitate towards those guys who are very dismissive and abusive. And it's always that you check online, many guys give their opinion and say, man, the women like the thugs, or they like the bad boys. That's a woman, as Doopsy was saying, who has a problem. And I think the disconnect is that the grandmother archetype, those old women archetypes, have been dismissed by the younger generation. So let me zero in on Nigeria. So, for example, in my dating experience, when in the US, I'll have Nigerian girls that will tell me, I know if you serve mano, I know if you serve my food. And I would laugh like, okay, great. I don't know why you're telling me. I don't want to talk to you. But I would be with African American girls and they must serve my food. Not because I'm saying it like I'm this guy, you must serve my food, stupid lady. No, I give them respect. I treat everybody great, but at the same time, this is just part of the requirements that come with me. I cook, I clean, but if I cook, I didn't see my father serve any food. Not that he didn't cook neither, but to show me that you care for me, I need you to serve my plate. Right? So I think there's a disconnect where the younger generation of Nigerian women look at what their grandmothers did as oppressive and as abusive. And I can understand where they're coming from, because we Nigerian men, we mistreat ourselves. We treat each other bad. We don't support ourselves. We don't, so why would the women follow us when we don't set a good example? So with that said, I'll wrap up. I don't want to ramble too much. I'm going to say that I'm going to push the onus and the burden back on the women to say the women have to do a better job of policing themselves, because you'll hear women at the hair salon will hear all manners of abusive things that other women are doing to men in their life, their friends, their girlfriends, their sisters. And not once will you hear those women say, what you're doing to that guy is wrong. Well, don't mistreat him. Mind your business, or stuff like that. So I think, what Doopsy said about these women who are damaged, the women who are not damaged, the women who are the elders, who are the culture setters, need to do a good enough job to promote a certain type of womanhood and a certain type of behavior and respect for themselves, so that when they encounter a bad boy, they can easily step aside from that type of abusive, hot and cold push and pull dynamic that those guys are trying to set up, because it's a psychological thing that they're doing. They're setting it up that way. And so you set it up where, okay, I give her a little bit of kisses, but then you beat her on the other hand, and that's how you just keep her guessing. These are the little dynamics that these guys set up with these women. So the women are now losing their minds. Does he like me? Does he not like me? They start
No,
going
don't
crazy.
give away
But
the whole
if
game
they
now. What are you doing now, guys? Don't give the game away.
have to give away the game, because you have a mother, you have sisters, you have aunties, and we don't want, as much as I can benefit from the game, we want our women to be strong and we want our men to be strong. And my belief is that when we have strong Nigerian women, this is my last sentence. Strong Nigerian women will have a strong Nigeria. Why? Because I've never heard a Nigerian woman leave her husband and say, I'm leaving this man. He's a corrupt criminal. He steals money from government. She'll leave for everything else. But as Dupsy was saying, Chima was saying, she'll endure because of money. She'll endure seeing her man beg another woman on social media for sex. She'll endure with that nonsense because of money. She won't leave him to say, he's a thief, he's a criminal, he's used. They won't leave for that reason. So we need to, those women need to police the women and set a standard for women's behavior. So that way, if you're a serious man and you start talking to women like that, you will come correct. I'll end there.
Gas them up, right? You were talking about Choma and Dorrance, but how about Davido? You know, your comments is just centered around women, our grandmothers this, our grandmothers that. How about the man? You know, some men are damaged too, because some of them, they grew up watching their dad beat the shit out their mom, and they think it's okay. You get my point? So when you put on some high, you have such high expectations.
No, I would say I agree with you.
Sorry.
I agree with you. No, I agree with you 1,000%.
But what she's saying, that's hold on, please. What she's saying that you just spoke all about men and women. You never pointed out what the men are doing wrong. And let me give you.
I can tell you why. I can tell you why I didn't do it. For two reasons, quickly. One, if you look at this is what used to always confuse me about women, right? Every love song you girls have ever listened to has talked about heartbreak, heartbreak, heartbreak. So men are already on the chopping block. Men are already called dogs. What do they tell us? Boys are made of everything, puppy dog tails and things that are not nice. Girls are made of sugar and spice, blah, blah, blah. So since birth, men are already seen in that light. That's one. And two, if a man, for example, and that's why I gave the example of the beauty shop, I can tell every man on this panel, and I don't agree with, we fight all the time. Ask Mike, shout out to him. Ask one man. We fight all the time, right? But I guarantee you, if we were all in a barbershop and a man came in, I said, oh boy, my wife cook rice. The rice cool. Now I beat him, I slap him, kick him for staircase. Some guys might even physically fight him for saying something stupid like that.
No, I don't agree with you. No, I don't agree with you, Gas them up, and I'll tell you why I don't agree. Wait, no. Gas them up, let me tell you why I said that. I've been on a platform and I was being disrespected. Men were there. None of them said a word. So what do you have to say about that?
Was it a Nigerian platform? If it was a Nigerian platform,
it was a Nigerian platform to be. It was a Nigerian platform to be precise.
Yes. Nigerian men perform. You see, I've listen. You said I didn't talk about the men. Let me tell you, the Nigerian men don't like me because I attack them viciously. I even said this guy Odumodu Black was singing in his recent record. If she doesn't sleep and have sex, she won't get money for a wig and handbag. I said he was not even talking. He thought he was talking about Nigerian women. He was really describing Nigerian men. The rich elite Nigerian men, because if they don't sleep with IMF and World Bank and prostitute themselves, they won't get money to oppress us and be big boys in Nigeria. So the Nigerians, that's partiality. Unfortunately, Nigerian men are king of partiality. They play these nonsense games. They know what is right. They know what is wrong. They will still side with whoever the money is with. That's unfortunate. And I apologize that you had to go through that. But what I am saying, though, is that generally speaking, not always, most of the time, if a man were to openly state, they beat my wife, the chicken is cold, or she did this, she did that, a lot of guys will not support him. They'll say, what's in the worry? You know, they beat women like that. You know, they won't support it. But a woman will go into the beauty salon and say, I put him on child support. I won't let him see his kids. I'll do this, I'll do this. Most women say, I'm at my business. So they will never call the woman out to say, what you're doing, sister, is wrong. They'll see a woman is playing a good guy. Rarely, not always, but rarely will I hear a woman say, another woman will call her and say, look, this thing you're doing is wrong. I don't support it. They won't talk about it. But if a man is doing it, some men will support him, but he can be sure that not every man will support him. Women will abuse men and don't have to worry about another woman saying anything. But I'm not pushing it to say it was about women. I'm only pushing it to say that realistically, a man cannot, I can't tell a woman how to be a woman, just like a woman cannot tell me what is a man or how to be a man. Men have to police ourselves. So a woman has to, that's why I said is like Dupsy gave a great point. She said it's only a damaged woman that likes that hot and cold nonsense. So the grandmothers, the culture setters have to set a standard of woman behavior so that when they come across those Jamaica type bad boys, they can say, look, I'm not dating you. Yeah, you're fine. I'm sure you can, thrust your hips like your hips don't lie. You're the greatest in the bed. But at the end of the day, I'm going to be with a man who is serious and ready to be responsible towards me. Can we get that from women?
All right. Dupsy, you've got Joel of Nashville with joining you as well. Can do is waiting as well. ASP, and then you have Lou, who is adding an additional female perspective. So I'm not sure how you want to.
Okay, is there a lady here? Oh, Lou, I don't know that person. Okay.
Yes, that's Lou. So
Okay.
do you want to bring? Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, Lou, can you unmute? Hi, Lou.
Hi, Dupsy.
Hi.
Hi, Lou.
Hi,
Hi.
Chioma.
I remembered your comment from yesterday. Welcome. Thank you for coming.
Yeah, nice to hear
Hi.
from you guys.
Good to join us here. Can you just tell us your own perspective regarding this topic? Thank you, Lou.
Yeah, no problem. I just logged in and saw you guys were already online, and the topic is if you want to stress yourself, be with a Niger man. Well, from the last speaker, um, every perspective is unique. Everyone has got their opinion, I believe, or the opinions, situations, environments play vital roles in shaping the way people see or visualize things in life. Remember that it's not only Nigeria. You would say if you want to be with a man or woman, it's in both ways. There can be stress depending on the environment where the person find themselves, depending on the upbringing, depending on the family, the foundation, the ethics, the society, religion. A lot of things play parts in human behavior and the way they think and act. And in psychology, it's really important. And that's why every human being can be redeemed only if they choose to be redeemed. Nothing is spoiled yet. I don't believe Nigerian men are the worst men. There are good and bad in every society, depending on the environment, like I've already pointed out. Um, you go into a relationship. Um, Better to keep an open mind, even if you've been hurt, like brushing every man with the same brush like the past. It ain't gonna work. Experience should be the best teacher. Um, Being matured in a relationship is earned and is important. Be it a Niger man or a Niger woman or whatever country you come from, maturity is very important. You learn from the experience that what you don't want someone to do to you, you should never do it to the other person. Respect is very important in relationships and integrity. Until you respect, I hear these things that in the Bible, especially when people want to play these games, they start quoting things from the Bible. They choose the part that suit their own ideology or perspectives for their own gains. That the Bible says women should respect the man, and the man should love the wife. I believe it's vice versa. Respect, even a baby needs should be respected, because as long as we have blood running in our veins, respect is a good stuff. It sets a good standard and morals for people to follow. It's like do to one the way you wish to be treated. You disrespect a man, you ain't gonna like it. Vice versa, men disrespecting woman, they say, "Oh, I'm gonna love you," and then they poke you in the eyes or treat you with a lot of disrespect and throw money on you. Hell no, man.
Lou,
Yes, dear.
I think you share something in common with Chioma.
I don't know. I'm just hearing that report.
Where do you come from?
I'm on BC.
Yeah, there it is.
Yeah.
Oh, my sister. Kekwana lotede.
I'm on Matada. Yeah.
Imandin beside when I will Tanisha Sokai and just we are very different. So monk was a lot today. You know
I'm
how
on Ma.
wow.
Yeah. So
That
one man
Your
is over
Igbo is
two.
nearly as good as your English, Chioma. Not quite, but nearly.
Yeah. So I believe that every relationship that goes bad, everyone has contributed to it going wrong one way or the other. I don't believe in one person carrying the majority of the blames, because if you love someone, you should go above and beyond material things. You know what I mean? Respect is important, in as much as we Africans think that, okay, woman should only show respect and the man should reciprocate with love. You cannot buy love. I don't believe that material can buy love. That's me. Everyone is different. Respect is important, and it's the foundation for a relationship to solidify with good. With respect comes communications. If someone you respect them, they know you value them, they're gonna be open to share some things with you that would make you understand them better, and then you can deal with it accordingly. Yeah, that's my own perspective. I don't think a woman should get the firing, and I don't think men should get the firing. I believe the beauty is in the eyes of the beholder. If it doesn't work for A, it doesn't mean it's not going to work for B. But in all relationship, you find yourself, do your best as a human being and treat people with some dignity and respect. That's where I'll end now. Thank you, guys.
Thank you so much, Lou. Thank you for your contribution. Woman, I'm not saying you mentioned somebody before.
Yeah, you've got Joel
Mentioned.
of Nashville, and then you've got a Can Do, who always has a unique perspective,
Okay, okay.
and then you have ASAP to blow up the conversation.
ASAP.
So Joel.
Okay, I think ASAP came in before Joel of Joel is here to chase Madama, so I won't call his name. He should stay there. It's not my friend. He's here to chase woman.
He doesn't
He's
have
here
the
to chase
budget. He
woman.
doesn't have the
So
budget for that
it's
for
not my
Chioma.
friend.
He doesn't have
He
the
doesn't
budget.
come for my program because of
Stop being
Adama.
jealous
He
now.
call
Stop
me.
being
I will
jealous
call
now.
you.
Stop being jealous.
I'm
Anyway,
jealous. I will call
anyway,
you. It's
that
because
was
of
the number one
Adama.
reason why I came in, though. That was the number one reason why I came in. I have to
Okay.
be plain. I came in because of Adama. I want to say hi to her and know how she's doing. Then I'll give my perspective. So just go to Kandu. Then after Kandu, I'll take it from there.
Okay. Can you unmute and
Yes, good afternoon, good irole, depending on where you are in the world. Ladies, Miss Dupsy, I've definitely been missing these Sundays. Miss Adara, Miss Chioma, Miss Lou, Mike, and I forgot the name of the person that spoke after Mike did. He
Gas them
very
up, sir.
well, yes, gassed them up. He very much gassed up virtually every aspect of this discussion I was going to go into. And at the end of the day, I think this thing is universal. I remembered when I was in high school at St. Finbar's. Those of us that were the bad boys were the one that got all the girls until your Reagan. If you were the bad boy, you got all the girls. You got as many as you wanted. And that is, to me seems to be universal. Was this Tupac Shakur? As bad as he will have six women waiting in the backstage to sleep with them on the same bed. regardless of education, regardless of career. Women love bad boys. That's just the way it is. Some might say, "Oh, I wouldn't do that." You see, all this narrative, they're very, very interesting to me. When you look at the likes of Elvis Presley back in the day, what's the name of this group from UK with Paul, whatever his name is? Look
The
at when they
Beatles,
came,
Beatles.
the Beatles. Look at when they came to America. Look at when they went to Japan. Women taking off their underwear, throwing it at them. Love me, fainting over people they don't know that they've never met. So, you know, this is what happens. And when you talk about whether it's Nigerian men or black American men in America, the bad boys get all the chicks. You know, when Miss Lou was talking about respect, I totally believe that the way you carry yourself is how other people are going to treat you for the most part. I was talking to someone in Nigeria on Friday night and they told me, "Oh, I'm going to the club or whatever." And I told them based on the way I saw them in the video conversation we're having. I said, "Okay, if people treat you or approach you as an ashawo, don't be offended because you're dressed like one." We have this new age thought process that, oh, I'm independent, I make my own money, I can do whatever I want. As far as I know, man or woman, no one lives a life of I do what I want that will have a successful life to the end. There are consequences for everything that we all do. If you act anyhow, people are going to, for the most part, treat you how you present yourself. If you dress as a police officer and people call you a Oga Police, don't be offended. If you dress like an Ashawo and somebody treats you as such, don't be offended. Not that I will ever suggest or be a part of any man, even if she's wearing thong on the street, that you should grab her behind. But presentation is important. I have a niece who were going to a party one day with her parents. And what she wore, you could almost see the inside of her behind. I told her and her parents, "I'm not going with you. If she's going to dress like that and you guys are, and it's okay for you to allow your daughter to leave her home like that, I'm not going to be there. I cannot be a part of that." So whether you're dating a Ghanaian, an American, a Nigerian, yeah, I know general, one man said something about Nigerian men in the UK, and I think somebody else mentioned quite rightly that a lot of what you see, even when you look at social media, is you're looking at guys and females in Lagos and Abuja, those major areas. But I think of it, I remember when my mom turned 60 years old. You see 60-year-old women on TikTok showing their behind. How in the world is my mama at 60, going to be shaking her behind on TikTok? What I mean,
Yeah,
what
yeah,
kind
but
of women are we talking about?
if you have the body,
Yeah,
then
if
why
you
not
have the
follow?
body. No,
Why
no,
not?
no. My mother is this respected person in her family. I don't care if she has Oprah money. Oh no, you don't conduct yourself like that. No. The way you carry yourself, look,
But
Yoruba.
let me push you back. Sandu, let me push back at you a little bit. If a woman has spent the whole of her life taking care of her body, prepping herself, making sure all the lotions and potions, good food, etc. If she turns a good who's that American singer with the big hair, the black woman, people like Madonna, etc. If they have that body and they've invested to keep their body in prime shape, why should they not show it off? Why should they not celebrate it?
Okay, you see, when I talk about people, I don't talk about Madonna, Madonna, whatever her name is. I don't talk about Davido. Those are not people. Those are not. I don't use Beyonce. Those are not examples of human beings that I use. I use, you see, unfortunately, these people, most of people in life, they see these people as their role model, like a friend of mine will say. Those are not people I don't, I don't mentor myself about my life, about what I don't even read or watch anything about them, because those are not the people I want my child to emulate. So if where is who in the world is Madonna? Because she was a singer and she made a gazillion amount of money.
But
That means
that's
she
who
should be
your child
respected.
watches on social
No,
media.
no, my child will not. My child will not want that, because from the very young age, the mother does not act like that. I don't conduct myself like that. Yeah, I'm not saying that they won't see it because they go to school, they're online and all whatnot. But and at the end of the day, I don't care what society does. I don't care what everybody else does. It's irrelevant to me what you do. I run my household the way that I do, and each person ought to do the same. So, and at the end of the day, for me, is that I don't even talk too much about dating. I talk about marriages, because a man can want you. You can be whatever age, as long as you get a couple of things in front of your chest and you got something to work with. Most men will do. They will do. The question has to be, what does that man want you for? Is it to keep or to just have? And for those, and I understand not every woman wants to be a wife, but those that do, you have to present yourself in a certain way. For the type of man, how you dress is going to determine the type of man that you are attracted to. How you present yourself, how you talk is going to determine the type of men. And even people, even this my niece that I was talking about, I've told her different times. When you dress this way, the type of men that are going to be attracted to you are going to be different than the type of men that are interested in even talking to you when you dress in another certain way. I understand women's movement. I understand being independent and being able to do whatever you want. But in life, there are consequences, whether they are short term or long term.
Mr. Kandu, though, you were kind of contradicting yourself. I didn't really like how you were like, oh, most women like bad boys, but most women that are at a certain age, they want stability. They're not looking for bad boys. And the reason why I said that you were kind of contradicting yourself was because the way you related most women wanted bad boys. What do you think most bad boys, quote and unquote, like? Because you're saying your niece should be dressed in this way and that way. You don't think she'll be dressed in a way that will attract the quote and unquote bad boys? What do you
Yeah.
think boys are looking
I
for?
think he's talking about high school girls.
No, no, not just high school, not just high school. You're in your early 20s. I mean, regardless of what age, the way you dress is going to attract. Look, we're not saying that anybody should be a saint. Bad boys, eh, you know, to put it as best as I can, a bad boy wants to, is a numbers game. A bad boy wants to sleep with as many women as he can. He's not interested in them, in their personality, in what they're about. It's about getting laid. And how many can I get? So those guys are not looking for a wife. They're just playing the field. But what I said is, from my experience and listening in and watching a lot of things that people do out here in the world, most women that I've seen want a particular type of guy. The only problem with that is the supply of those type of guys is limited. So invariably, most women are going to be sharing those type of guys
But
because there are not enough of them.
bad boys are better than
Hold
men.
on, Mike. I think Bia wants to come in. Bia.
Hi, Mr. Kandu.
Yes,
If you
ma'am.
don't mind, I've got two questions for you, please. One, what's the difference when a woman dances her ass off in a party in African culture. Remember, our dancing is mostly the chest and the bum bum. Shaking what her mama gave her publicly and then doing it in the room, inside, where no one sees it. What's the difference? Is it now a taboo because she dances outside and people now people see her in the social media? Is it a crime? That's one. And secondly, the bad boys, as you described, they go through. You said most women love bad boys, and you are a man in a position of a man telling women what they like. Okay, now you're saying that. How about the bad boys that slept with all the women and still found a wife out of the bad women, or the good women, or all the women that they slept with? How about that? How would the bad man or bad guy be able to find a wife? Don't you think that most of those bad guys still end up marrying one of those bad girls that he's been knocking, man? Thank you.
Yeah, good question.
Thank you.
You know, in African culture, Middle Eastern culture, you see the Middle Eastern women with their navel showing, and they're doing, shaking their money maker, like I call it. Yeah, you see, unfortunately, I did not create society. There is unfairness. There are advantages that women have that men don't. There are advantages that men have. Women have that men don't, and vice versa. So those women doing those type of dances that you said in public at a party or whatever. But if you are a married woman, there is a limit to which you'll be shaking your behind like that. If you're a woman with some respect, my mom died from as far back as I can remember. She dances very well, but she will not be shaking her behind like that. She has nieces, brothers, sisters. Why would she conduct herself like that? So I'm not saying that people should not express themselves, but your tongue showing it, people, you bend down, people can virtually see inside of you. I don't understand that. But the issue of the bad boys, again, to me, when I look through history, whether you want to talk about King David, King Solomon, whoever you want to talk about, the guy that is perceived as the strong and has resources gets to have the spoil. Again, in high school, a lot of quote unquote the bad boys, it's not like a whole bunch of them had money, but it was the behavior. The anti-system guy. If you have money, then that's a plus. If you have some money, then it's a plus. But you see, again, whether you want to go through Hollywood or you want to go through Nollywood or in India, a lot of people want that bad guy. Even if that person already has other women. Even in dating, you see some women, they'll say, if the guy is going to date me, he has to do this, he has to do that. That's for the guy that she doesn't want. If you're the guy that she wants, you don't have to do nothing or close to nothing. For the guy that she wants, it is the guy that she doesn't want, or she has not decided that she wants you. You're the one that has to take her to, dinner and spend $900. For the guy that she wants, she will be going after him, and the men too. And that's why I advise people, go after the person that wants you. All other things being equal, go after the person that's interested in you. Don't be chasing somebody that doesn't want you. It's a harder climb. You're wasting resources, you're wasting time. And whether people like it or not, especially in a relationship for women and men that want a family, you unfortunately there's a time clock. For those who want a family, you don't have forever. A man can still have a baby at 70. A woman, I don't know about that.
Thank you. Let's move on to Joel of Nashville. Joel, unmute. Let's hear your contribution.
Yeah, Doopsie, how are you?
I'm good. I'm
Now,
good, Joe.
no, I was looking out to see if you're going to come in, like if you were up one of these days. I think you've not been off for like 2
Yeah,
Sundays now.
like 2 or 3 Sundays. Yeah, it's been a while. Yeah, I've
But
not
I
been
hope
here
you're
for some
good.
time. I'm very well, thank you, Joel. Go ahead.
Adam, mommy here.
That's why he's here. Don't mind him.
Ada, how you doing now?
Oh, there, oh.
Oh, Loma. Oh, well, I greet everybody. So, to the topic, I stand with Kandu, with most of Kandu stake. And I'll tell you why. You see, life is about choices. And when you make those choices, um, you have to learn to live with the consequences. That is the way life is. You cannot make a choice and you cry for someone else to help you take the consequences, which has been the case of our women over the years. Now, I've had people talk about heartbreaks. I don't know if the guys here will be open and to tell the world the kind of heartbreaks we've had in the past. Women have had it so easy. You guys have had it so easy. You understand? I mean, it's not like it's not degrading anybody the way it is. It's the way the world is. Somebody comes in, get married to you, just by marriage, everything is 50-50. Which other lottery can you get that good? The point is this: we all have to know our place. All these liberal policies, liberal way of thinking will not work. In the animal kingdom, the lion is the lion, the female is the female. It is what it is. Everybody have their own job. As far as I'm concerned, there is room for the sugar daddies, for the sugar mommies, for the side chicks, for the husband, for the wives, for the boyfriend, for every cadre. Why? Because it's a choice. Doopsie, when we were growing up in high school, right? If you know the heartbreaks men get, because we are told to our faces, point blank. It is not like you guys that will be like, hey, you have to put yourself like this. No. So the boys they tell you, hey, you take care of your family, you take care of your wife, you take care of your son, and that is it. Pure and simple. So wherever we go, we have that at the back of our mind. Whenever you see those girls those days at our level, those days, they will size you because women can see through your pockets. They will know if you have money or not. They will size you, look from head to toe. The insults we get, going up, it's too much. So those men that you see today, those are the same people that those women like y'all, and I'm not talking specifically you ladies, but these are people, women broke their hearts. So those men are broken. But you see, we always talk about the girl child, girl child, girl child. Most of us don't want to talk about the boy child. The boy child has been so neglected. So everything is like, oh, the girl child, girl child. Then, yes, there's an argument for that. But at what point did it start flipping? Because when you start doing stuff, when you want to get something to balance up, sometimes you could create an overbalance, which has been the case of women today. So you see women not taking responsibility. If you can see any woman that comes on social media to tell you that they had a breakup and it's their fault, show me one.
No woman is at fault when it comes to breakup. In fact, even if I don't know if you guys follow these people on social media, you will see people and the way they think. Even when she cheats, you will see women who come out to say, "Do you know how the man was treating him? Maybe the man pushed her to." So you guys have it all good. So my
Hey,
thing
Joe,
is
can I ask
just
you a quick
this.
question? Something important you said. Can I ask you a quick question to see what you think? You said the boy child are neglected. We focus more on the girl child. Do you
Yes.
think we are making? Because I do notice that a lot of us, especially today's world, we spend a lot of time trying to raise our daughters right to be a good girl, but we don't pay attention to our sons that much. Like trying to
My
teach them.
brother,
So
my daughter,
we don't think it's
my
important to
daughter
make
had
our
me
boys
at the
upright.
at the wrap of her fingers. My daughter,
Do you do
she's
you
only
think
11.
do you think we are
It is
making
normal.
the society is making big mistake? Because if no matter how great or upright you make the women in society, when you have a upright men, like men that are not upright, do you think automatically they will corrupt the women? So do you think society is more? I mean, we have got to the point where we don't understand that it's more important to raise upright male children than just
It is a huge problem because today, right, we see this issue about masculinity. It's like the word is anti-masculinity. If you go to the internet, you see these things. In fact, even with our shaving stick, there was a time Gillette did one, and people were like, "What is all this? They are making us spaghetti. They want us to be like Jello." You need strong men, and strong men must exist for this world to stand. There is no two ways about it. You need strong men. Call it masculinity, call it whatever tag you want to call it. Because we have seen it. We have seen the DEI hires in the United States, for
But
instance.
Joel, they are calling it toxic masculinity
That is
now.
what that is the point. That's the point. Even a woman going to the gym to
To
look
be an
masculine is
alpha
also
male
a
now
crime.
is no longer
That is
acceptable. To be an
yeah.
alpha
So there are people pushing this agenda, and we see these things.
white men
And
really want now. They want every
and they
man to be
use
on the
this
white
thing,
man's
and
white man's
they use the
standards.
women. One man, do you know that when they said that men should start crying to show emotion, I was against it. I'm against it. A man should cry when if a woman is crying. It was who said that? I've forgotten this.
Sorry, Joel. Under what circumstances do you think it's acceptable for a man to cry?
When something really hard happens, especially in my own culture, when your mother dies, because we say, "Oh, when your mom died," because you see,
Hold on, you win the
Joel,
World
can I
Cup.
say something? Can I say something?
go ahead.
I just want us to have a balance here. A lot of the thing you said, I agree with. Yes, women do get away with a lot. I quite agree with that. But at the same time, we need to factor in something which I don't think we're quite speaking on, which is the culture. When you come out from a culture, you're only recognized by how much you make, how much you earn, the kind of car you drive, the people you hang out with. That is one of our biggest problems. And at the same time, those who don't have it, I always say this, every woman wants to marry an accomplished man, a rich guy. Who is going to marry those guys who hustle but haven't made it yet? We're not talking about that. So when it comes to emotions, like you said, I believe, and I'm saying this, depression is real. And trust me, it doesn't have to take death for you to go through depression, both the male and female version. All I'm saying is that we came from a culture where men are not allowed, and to the point that women see it or they frown at it when men express their emotion, they label them as being weak. So we need to start changing those things. No one, like, it's okay to not be okay. Because we know what? If we're trying to raise kids who are going to lead the future tomorrow and what is coming out in this generation, we need to be realistic. The boys we're giving back to today, the girls we're giving back today, they are very outspoken, and at the same time, they can express themselves. So the earlier we recognize that, we have to meet in the middle. And women, I'm not making excuses for them. Yes, go ahead, Ms. Dupsy.
Yeah, I just want to support that. And please don't let people suppress their emotions, both men and women. If a man feels he wants to cry for anything that has happened to him,
It is
let him be
un-African,
able.
especially
Please,
on Nigeria.
I am telling you, woman, this is a very serious issue when it comes to psychological problems. That's why a lot of men are on drugs. That's why a lot of people are taking substance to suppress their emotions.
And just alcohol is another thing. They drink a lot. They drink a lot. And that's why, woman, I don't like when you say it's un-African. We have people listening to us. We have people listening to us.
It's un-African though. Sorry. Let me just keep this in. It is on. I know we're a lot of us are modern, educated, international in this space, but we are anomalous to our backdrop. We're not the norm. We're not representative of our culture because we've emancipated out of that mindset. But the backdrop of the African setting is conservative, is patriarchal, and it's historic and cultural. And that backdrop, it leaves no room for a man to be either emotional or crying. It's unacceptable.
And that's why your leaders are sick. Most of the people in Nigeria, especially the leaders, are sick. Because they suppress their emotions. They are not normal. That's why a lot of Nigerians are not normal.
Dupsy, let me say,
go ahead.
Dupsy,
Go ahead.
Yeah, Dupsy, this is the thing, right? This is the thing. There's what you call instincts. I know that as time goes on, people try to whittle these things down. But I am a man. And that's what makes me a man. You cannot be crying as a woman. And I am the husband, and I'm crying with you. Who will comfort each other?
No, I'm not saying you have to cry with your woman. I'm saying if you have the urge for crying,
no. This is my point. Dupsy, let me tell you.
And sorry, Joel, let me agree with you. I think maybe in the nearly 3 years I've known you, this is probably the only time I'm agreeing with you. A man is only allowed to cry once, and that is when his mother passes away.
Yes.
I agree. And woman, you win the World Cup, you should also cry now. Come on.
You understand what and see, this is like towards the same women we are talking about. So women have had it so good. Right? One man, what happened these days? In my culture, we say, when we are done with all our hustling to set our families up, most of us we go early. Who goes to the Mugo? It's a woman.
So you want to start dragging a Mugo with us now? You want to start going to Is that what you're saying?
No, we are not dragging it. Yeah, we are not dragging it. We are not dragging it.
Adama, that's what I was telling you earlier, right? When these ladies were talking about Nigerian men, and I said to you that it's not really in our culture to be talking about trauma. These things are foreign to us, that in order to date or be married to a Nigerian man, you have to have a thick skin. You can't be all emotional. You get what I'm saying?
And that's why our country is not working out well.
The issue is
still like that. Yeah.
I like
talk about at home that affect the human brain.
At home, Ms. Dupsy, at home, I like a man's man. I don't like weak men. It's like, it disgusts me. You get what I'm
Dupsy, can I respond when she's done?
So I don't want a man that is weak and all emotional, and at some point, you have to deal with life. You can't be all emotional. You just have to sweep some things under the rug and keep it moving.
No, but that's not the kind of emotion Chama, hold on. That's not the kind of emotion I'm talking about. I understand what you're talking about. I'm talking about when you're struggling. I'm talking about depression. I'm not talking about every little thing you're crying
No,
or whining about it.
we're not gonna
Yes.
discuss depression in my house. We'll just figure it out. We'll find ways
Wait,
to figure
can
out.
I,
If
can
you
I,
lost your
can,
job, we'll find you a new job. I'm not gonna be here
Leave
moaning with
people to
you.
their emotions. Let them let it
oh,
down if they
can
feel
I, can I
like.
support
That's why a
Miss
lot of
Dupsy
people
first?
are on
There's a
substance.
way you
Leave
can
people
deal with
alone.
it, but there's a way you can deal with it by saying, "Oh, you're disappointed at work, or this is not business is not going well." It's not which one is dealing with crying
Wait, can I quick,
whining
you
like
guys
The
that.
thing
mind me
is,
quickly?
Dupsy is just too woke, and Dupsy and Adam are there
all
woke,
these
woke people.
Canadians, they're all too much. They're all too
Oh,
much.
hold on. Dupsy, Joa, are you including me in that now? So let me know where we stand, both of us, because you're changing your tone.
Thank you, Adama.
So please
Move
let me
out
know
with this
now.
guy.
Who is
Adama,
asking me? Who
don't
is asking me now? Who is asking me the
Adama is
question?
asking you this
Hey,
question. Are you?
Adama,
Are you?
are you in Canada?
No. Why would I be in Canada? I'm in the States.
Hey, so how did I didn't put you in the conversation.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure so that I'll tell everybody now that I'm done with you. I'm done with you.
Will kill you. The woman
well, see, Dupsy, this is the issue. Men are logical, women are emotional. It is the basic facts. And you see, we see these things. The women at the end of this suffer for it. We see that same thing happening in the United States, where most of these men, are raised by single mom. And it has become a problem because sometimes, why do these guys why do they go into gangs? Because they need a father figure. Why do they go astray? Most of them. The studies are there. They are 10 times more likely to go to jail. They are 10 times more likely to fall out of school. They are 10 times more likely to do time, to commit crime. So,
Even do
see,
drugs.
there's a reason why God made it a man and a woman.
Can I respond to that if that's okay?
You understand what I'm saying? Because I remember those days, one man. Those days, if my dad would say, "There's a curfew," and I remember one of those days. I went out. I came back around 6:30, 7 o'clock. My dad said, "I'm staying outside," and he was serious about it. He said, "I will stay outside the house." I was outside the house. Who came out to give me food? My mom. She waited 9 o'clock. My dad went to sleep. She came and gave me food, and she gave me a conch on the head. I know here. But come and stay there. Then she now waited around 10:30. Who came to bring me inside the house? My mom. There's a reason for that. If the man you wield the stick, it doesn't matter if they say, "Oh, I love my mom." No, 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 no. Without those discipline, there won't be the human beings that the society or we want them to be. So you see, the roles are distinct. I mean, are there areas where we can interchange? Yes. If you're in Nigeria, for instance, you know that we have maids in Nigeria. If you come to abroad, you know we don't have maids. So if you say one person should do it, then it's a problem. No. But let it not be mistaken. The kitchen, the woman does not belong to the kitchen, but the kitchen belongs to the woman. Not be mistaken because we see all this trend. I can't cook, I can't clean. You can't cook. In Abiano,
Can you hear me, one man, please? I was trying to say something. I don't know if anyone can hear me.
Yeah, go
Yeah, I was
ahead.
trying to speak to you. Can you guys hear us?
Yeah.
Hello, Mr. Joel of
Go ahead.
Nashville. Yeah, men do cry, but they don't cry publicly. They may not cry in front of the woman or anyone, but men,
Exactly. You
every
know now.
human being cries. They hide it and they suffer it. And what Dupsy is saying, they need to let those tears roll, whether in front of your wife or in the secret, whichever way, tears
Thank you,
is
Lou.
good.
Thank
Because
you
when
so
you
much.
release
Thank
those
you
cry
so
for
tears,
much,
your wife.
Lou. I really
you
appreciate
are
you saying
I've
all
only
that.
reciprocating.
ever
Thank
cried
you.
twice in my
One
life.
minute, my darling. 1
Anyway,
minute.
I've
When
only
you release,
You guys are misunderstanding her.
1 minute, love.
She said even in secret too.
Even in
So,
secret, shed
And
those
that's what
down
we're saying to
tears.
Adam Choma. That's
and there's a
exactly
way
what
you'll
we're
be seeing
saying.
your husband crying every day. He'll be looking like a sissy. That's a turn
No,
on.
no, 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 no. That's
Look,
not what we're
look,
No, but
saying.
there's difference
Shed
between a
everyone.
those
CC.
tears.
There is
That
a
Shed
means
them.
difference.
that's like see finish. As in a man is supposed to be a leader. You know, it's like the
No,
president of the
no.
United
Let
States.
the man cry if he
Let
desires
him
to
cry,
cry.
man. Let him
Don't
cry.
box him into a corner that he's not.
Yes,
I'm
he
not
Yeah,
is
gonna
and
not
I'm
the
box him
wondering
into
world.
why
corner,
this
but
man feel boxed in.
I'm gonna tell him to, get up. You'll be fine. Don't look all weak.
And that's why they turn into addict. Yeah,
No,
that's why people turn
no.
into
That's not
addict.
true.
No,
That's not true.
Yeah,
addiction is
yeah.
different.
It's
Addiction
not
is
different,
different. I mean,
Joel. It's not
there are risk
different.
factors. No, hold on.
It's not
There are
different.
there are risk factors. Hold on. There are risk factors. There are risk factors for addiction. So you cannot just purely say it is because that men don't cry. That's why they go into addiction. I mean, we have women and men alike that are in
When you
addiction. If
don't
you
let them do what they want to do with their
and
emotions.
see, let me tell you,
Yeah,
if you
Sister
don't
as a
Joel,
box
human
them.
wait,
being,
I haven't
Don't
as a
box
finished
human
yet.
them.
being, you ought to have a coping mechanism. You have to have your own coping mechanism.
Can you
You
hear
have
me,
to look at
Joel?
what works for you.
Look, Joel, let Lou finish
Can you
his
hear me?
submission.
Go ahead,
Yeah.
go
Yeah.
ahead.
So when you cry, you are actually releasing emotions that could have made you to behave in a nasty way to either your wife or people around you, and you're not going to be useful for anyone around you that time. So I'm saying if a man wants to cry, please cry. You don't have to cry in front of anybody. Cry secretly because it's going to help you to act better with clearer
That's not true.
focus. It is true. In
It's not true.
psychology,
I rather talk
in
to
I'm
someone
talking
else.
about psychologically now, my darling. I'm not talking about
No, no.
this goes
In
No,
my
no,
My
no, no.
sister
physically.
Lou,
Even in
Lou, can you hear
psychology,
me?
even in
Lou, can you
it's
psychology.
hear
actually the
me?
opposite. No,
Lou,
it's
It's not
actually
the
the
opposite.
opposite.
They tell you to cry.
Let me
When you
Lou,
tell
go
can
to
you
a
you hear
something.
me?
psychologist, they tell you to cry.
Please, Lou, can you hear what I'm saying, please? Can we hold on, please?
Yes, I can hear you.
Yes. Oh, gas them up, please. Wait, let me finish with Lou, then you come in. Lou, don't argue with Jewel. Jewel is, hi, Ishi Konkom. Just leave him. Leave
Adama,
him.
your boyfriend. Why are you
Yes, I
castigating
can
your
call him
boyfriend?
that. I have the permission to. Leave him. I know him. Leave him like that.
I want to just quickly, because my network isn't that stable, so I apologize, guys. I just want to, as I've always challenged everybody, there's certain statements that was said where we said so-called Nigerian culture and our culture. I think we have to learn to make the distinction. And one man, if you remember, I was having, God damn, there's people out in the background. I was having a conversation with you about the difference between Adura and Iwure, right? And there's a clear difference. And do you remember that, Mr. One Man?
I
Hello?
do. Carry on.
So, God damn, these people are noisy. But my point is that the distinction is that we have to understand language is very, very powerful, and language in many ways does shape reality. So when we take, for example, concepts of masculinity that are not universal, as one speaker was saying earlier, there's very few things that are universal, very few things. Majority of things are not universal. A lot of things are culturally relative. So when we're talking about masculinity, for example, nowhere in our language does it say that a man should not cry. Now, I'm not saying that our men were just standing there crying and weeping every day when they saw, trouble or stress or anything of that nature. No, that never happened. But I think we have to be very careful when we adopt and adapt Western standards of masculinity. So that's why I believe Adama, in my opinion, defeated the other gentleman's argument when he stated that, oh, well, I didn't want the young lady dressed up like this. But she said, well, if she's dressed up like this, she's only trying to attract the bad boys that, you once were, or you probably still are, right? So you got to lead by example. You can't tell her, hey, I'm a bad boy, I'm an uncle with swagger, but don't dress up to attract bad boys or men who have swagger in that sense. I want to quickly touch on the point where he, I forgot his name, but he was saying about universally that
Universally,
Can
can
do.
do.
Can do.
Can do.
Can do.
pardon me, that women are attracted to bad boys. I don't think it's that they're attracted to bad boys. No, I think what some women, not all, but some women seek out is they like the audacity of a quote unquote bad boy, or the alleged
Yeah, but
fearlessness.
that's the trait of a bad boy. The often audacious people are usually bad boys.
No, I think it's a trait that can be taught. I think what happens is that, like most things, particularly in the Western system, you get segmented. So if you're good with numbers, they just push you. Oh, you need to be a mathematician or accountant. They push you in that direction. Not knowing that people are multifaceted. He might be great with numbers, but he's also good with something else. She's good with people, so they'll probably push her. Oh, you should be a teacher, right? We segment people into these things. You can be taught audacity, you can be taught aggression, you can be taught dominance. Now, there's certain things that are internal where a person might naturally tend to be a little bit more dominant and a little bit more aggressive, but it's something that, depending on the circumstance, we can see it. Perfect example, you see it in the wild and you see it with women. If you threaten a woman's child, you'll see this same meek, mild-mannered mother who's at church every Sunday or in mosque every Friday, all of a sudden turns into the most dangerous thing that you'll ever want to encounter. As a matter of fact, some of the most powerful spirits in the spiritual world that you'll encounter are the spirits or the energies that they attribute to the female power. For example, it's like Zuli in Haiti, right? Yemoja in the Yoruba side. So you don't want to mess with them and their children. They will show you a different side, even more dangerous and scary. Peace. I just want to wrap this because
Please, can you all give me 90 seconds real quickly? 90 seconds. 90 seconds.
Brother, if you don't mind,
Can we
Can I
change
just
the after Mr. Because we have
okay, I know because I step up my network.
All right, hold on. Land it in a second. Gas them up. Can do come in and then Choma and then Dupsy. We've not heard from ASAP yet. So yeah, back to you guys.
One man, I'm not done yet though. Let me round up.
Oh, okay.
All right.
Joe, okay. Yeah, he wasn't done. Yeah, he wasn't done. So please, quickly, 90 seconds. I beg, 90 seconds, real quickly. What he was saying and what I said about the bad boys, yeah, I can understand there's an element of that can be taught. But when I'm talking about when I was in high school, this is innate within certain people. You see, there are some people, even among men, other men understand that there are some men that are superior. There are some men, when they walk into a room, even other men look because they have that aura about them. Some of those you cannot teach. And in talking about my niece, looking for, I'm not, I've been out of the bad boy business for many years. So even at my niece, what I was saying to her is how you present yourself. And at your age, you should not be looking for bad boys because at the end of the day, most of them are bad news. In terms of men crying, the issue is not that men don't cry. We're talking about men crying in front of their woman. A man will go to another man, go and discuss the situation, and he will cry in front of his guy because that's his guy. That's acceptable, but not crying in front of your woman, like like Chioma said. I mean, she will look at you from that day. You're no longer a man to some women, not all. Thank you.
Exactly. Thank you.
So one minute, very quickly. I'll just wrap it up with this. That I'm gonna go back again to culture. For example, I've said this on Kaizo's show many times. Kaizo actually agrees with me. You should do a topic on this one, man. When you say things about our culture, we said a woman wants a man with resources. That can easily be proved if you look at the genetic history of West Africa, the diversity. Right? West Africa is too genetically diverse for it to have been this type of society where women only went after men with so-called resources. Keep in mind, what resources are we talking about? Are we talking about money? Or are we talking about access to land? Or what are the resources that we're describing? The reason why I'm saying this is because if you look at the anthropology and the archaeology behind the history of West Africa, you will not see a society where women were only talking to the so-called men who had money or men who had power. Women didn't choose relationships based on that. As a matter of fact, a relationship that a woman chose was most often based on her interaction with her family. It was a family choice. It wasn't an individual choice. So what is happening today is that we're in the West, we're in the Western system, we have to so-called date individually and choose individually. But if we're really following our cultures, our marriage decisions won't be done individually. Our marriage decisions will be done based on the collective family unit. And I'll end with that. So thank you guys for having me. My network is great.
Okay,
Gas
okay.
them
Let
up.
me.
On the same note, gas them up. Men are also dating different. They're dating women that are also doing well because times are hard. You can't be settling with a liability. So men are also dating up. Okay, that's
Yeah.
Anyway,
Joel, you wanted to round up before I
let
call.
me round up.
Yes. Okay.
To the last person that talked, men date down traditionally. So you might have one or two situations out there where men want to, date someone that, that's already made, but and traditionally men date down and women date up. And I've never seen any person come out to tell women, "Hey, don't do that." So let us preserve what we have.
Show me
Are
that in
there
Igbo
areas?
culture.
Are there areas? Are there areas where we
Pre-colonial
can?
Igbo culture. Can you show me
Are there?
that in pre-colonial Igbo culture? I get what you just said. Prove it to me in pre-colonial Igbo culture, not modern Igbo culture where the guy has to work in some container for 50 years before he makes money to go to the East to marry a girl. Show me in
And the
1780 and
economic times,
1545 when Igbo,
they gas them up. The economic times
yeah.
have changed, and we have to acknowledge
Yes.
that, right?
So then you can't say it's
And
you
yeah,
can't say it's
but
Igbo.
it does not really change. It does not really change who you are. It might change certain things that you may be able to do, but it does not change who you are. It doesn't change your culture. Your culture can still go through these things and still remain. My thing
But
is
Joel,
just
show me
this.
an Igbo
Gas,
man
gas,
marrying.
That's the
gas.
problem.
Let him round up so we can go into the
Let me
next.
know. My thing is just this, right? I cannot phantom the reason why we have to take, the Western culture and now make it superior over ours. Are there areas where we can work on ours? Yes. But the West, people that cannot defend what a woman is, should not be telling me, an original human being from Africa, what culture should be. Most of these things, most of the takes that we have are just takes from the West. Do men cry? Men do cry. But I can talk to my man. We can have a chat. You understand? There are ways. There are guys' way. There are men's way. But it cannot be generalized the way they want us to do it in the West. So for me, I believe that Africa's culture is beautiful. We can make it more beautiful. But for now, let's leave all these things about the West. Thank you very much.
All right,
Miss
yeah.
Dipsy,
Thank you.
sorry,
Yeah.
Miss Dipsy, do I have your permission? I want to throw a wrench into this conversation so that whoever wants to speak can speak on the question I have to ask.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Go.
Okay, the
Yeah.
wrench I want to throw into this now, we've been talking about men, their struggle and everything. And my wrench, this is what I'm throwing in. Women who are accomplished, I want us to answer this question. Do we believe that those women go through struggles? When I say accomplished, women who are earning over 400K and up, do you people know that they go through challenges where our men feel because of how accomplished they are, they cannot be it's hard for men to look at them or marry them or wife them up. So that's the wrench I want to throw into it. And my question is why? Why is it that our men feel accomplished women cannot be marriage material or they are hard to manage? Thank you.
I just think it's men with low self-esteem that can think that. If you're really and you are not a lazy man or not an accomplished man yourself, I don't think that should be a problem.
Me too. I don't
Self,
think that
and
should.
yeah, I don't think that should be a problem. I don't know why that's a problem. Maybe the men should speak up and let us
Yeah,
know why
don't
that
say
should be a problem.
the more
Yeah,
successful a woman is, the more single she's likely to be.
I have
Because
essentially,
something,
yeah.
one man, I have
that's
something to add to that.
Yeah.
yes. Let me just
Go ahead. Okay.
you know Joel was just explaining that there are traditional roles that historically, traditionally, culturally, men tend to marry down. So economically, social class, etc., etc. So that's just an inbuilt something within culture and way of being. So if the woman already, if she's already occupying the role that you are looking to occupy as a man, then you are really looking to redefine your role as a man. So if she's already able to, if she's either the provider or she can equally provide as much as you, if she commands authority within the space that she occupies, then what is your slot? What is your role in that relationship? So I think that may be where some of the difficulties are. But we've not heard from ASAP, so yeah, yeah.
Hello, woman.
Hello, we cannot hear you.
Can you hear me? I can hear you clearly. Hello, woman. I can hear you clearly.
Go ahead, please. Go ahead.
Yeah, we can hear you. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Woman, it took a while before you called me. I think I was here even before them Joel of Nashville came in.
That's my fault. I'm sorry
Duplo
about that.
in the hand.
I'm
And
sorry
even
about
before Gas Demo was to came, because I came in around the
that.
42
I'm so sorry
minute
about
mark.
that. Yeah, I'm so sorry.
And
Go
you
ahead.
just kept wow.
It's because I know them very well because I don't know you. Sometimes there'll
But
be a little bit of partial.
even in that order, after
Yeah,
the first set came in, I mean, it
I'm
was
so
too long.
sorry.
It
I'm
was
so
just too
sorry.
long.
I
Woman, I don't
apologize.
think
Yeah,
maybe it's just because we don't
I
have our own
apologize.
You
show.
should have
But
said
Joe
something now. You should have just said something.
Stop
Come on.
killing the
I
time.
apologize. Yeah,
Please,
This is
dear
why
man,
I
Radon.
don't
accept
want
the
men to
apology.
be
Thank
too
you.
emotional. This is too
Ah,
emotional for me, bruh. Like,
I
We were
apologize.
just talking about men not crying, no, ASAP.
You see
don't
that?
cry, oh. This is
What, you see that what I'm talking about?
This is
You
time for
see,
you to be a
like
You have
man
like
to, you
he's
have
now.
trying
to
to
stand up for
Man up.
he's
yourself
trying
here,
to
people.
stretch it, but if women don't feel comfortable with that, that's the point. That's the
No,
I
it's
mean,
not. I don't think it's even too much for me to even point out that after waiting for over 1 hour. So I don't think
I'm so
that's too
sorry.
much to point
Chioma,
out.
I'm sorry.
Huh? Do
I'm
you
so
want a
sorry.
kiss
Please
on
go
your
ahead.
It's not.
cheek?
It's not really. It's not
Come
the
and
reason
chop
I'm.
this.
And you can see
Come and
I'm
chop
addressing it
this.
to one man because it's not the first time it has happened.
You want a
Oh,
kiss
So
God,
on
make
your
you start
cheek
your
now so you
contribution
be
now.
okay.
I'm so sorry about that. Please go
yeah.
ahead. Yeah.
Okay. So that's that. And then well, everyone has really spoken very well, and the all I would just want to say is this, that uh, a man doesn't have to show an emotional side. And you see, one thing we need to understand is that it's not everything from the West that we have to imbibe. There are some things that it's just a case of sticks and stones. There are some things that they do that they are constantly evolving in. So then maybe some years, because there's a report that came out recently where they said that even the kids that have been going through therapy have been over treated. There are cases where they've been over treated with therapy to the point where therapy has become more like an appendage to them. That was a recent study I came across. And now modern therapists will not want that kind of study to come out because naturally speaking, it will affect their finances. So you can't just begin to take the things from the West, right, and then apply them. Before those things came to, remember that the West itself is constantly evolving. So maybe in 2 years' time, they come up and say, "Oh, okay, we actually over treated our therapists patients." Okay, so what do we do then? Then we move again. We keep moving like that. So a
They
man,
talked about over medication, not
yeah, thank you. That's the word,
going to
over
the
medication. So
over
you don't,
medication. Yeah,
yeah,
not
you don't
going to the
do so.
therapy itself. Going
A
to the therapy
man,
is a good thing. Over medication
yet
is bad. Yeah.
Yeah, but and then we have cases where we've seen therapists, clinical therapists, even do that. And I think that study was done by the academic therapists who were even conflicting with the clinical practicing therapist. If I can lay my hands on that study, I will share it with one man. So men that are listening to me, please don't show your emotions. Forget about what anything these women have said here, except for one of them who was saying, no, she doesn't want it. If you show your emotions, guaranteed 100% of the time, it will be used against you.
So, are you saying that we should do more so the opposite, which is die in silence? You're not breaking the
No,
middle
I
ground.
mean, men have just
Because
given
a
you.
lot of us are dying in silence.
Can I
in the
respond to
States.
that?
You're
Can
supposed
I
to
respond?
think.
Can I respond to that, please?
Yeah.
Now, even right here on this platform, men have given you an outlet. They've told you you could go meet your other men and talk with them, cry as much as you want before your men, before your peers. But let me tell you something, no woman will ever feel secure under a man who is emotional. They can
That
tell
is
you
not
that
being
from
emotional
they
now.
can tell.
No, could you
But
please use not some, not no women?
okay, if that were the case, see, one of the reasons why I came on the show was even from your title. Even from your title itself, in your title, you didn't say, oh, some Nigerian men will give you stress. You said Nigerian men. You generalized, and no one called that out. See, the generalization is not a
I
big.
did. I did. You didn't start the show with us. I don't like when people just jump in and they didn't listen. I did, and that was the first thing I said
First
when
thing
we
she
started the
said.
show.
That was the
But you
Okay,
So
know,
but
please
then,
always
but
listen
yes.
very well before
ASAP,
you come
ASAP,
jumping in.
all
ASAP,
Yeah.
right, okay,
ASAP,
okay,
you're right.
okay,
I
but
really agree with you, ASAP. Don't be too emotional because Adama, at some point in time, it will wear on you over time. As a woman, we have a lot of overburdened women. We want a man that is like our, backup, to be, in defense mode and to back us up. We don't want someone that's also emotional. So, yes, ASAP, you're 110% correct.
yeah, so can I? So well, if you as a man, you're listening to what we're saying, and you're saying, "Oh, you're going to go ahead and please be my guest. Go ahead and cry before your woman." But what sometimes we learn by people like to learn by other people's experience, and sometimes people like to learn by their own experience. So that's that. And with regards to the question, the wrench that was thrown into this conversation about women who are high achievers and high earners and having trouble with dating. Am I correct by that? Was it Ms. Adama who gave that question or someone who
Yes,
asked
I
that
did.
question?
Yes, you're correct with the question. Why do they have a hard time
Yeah.
dating? And men see them as so accomplished. And I want to say some, let me use the word some men,
All
because there
right.
are a lot of men who date them and marry them and don't even care. And the brackets where they even end up marrying someone higher than that bracket. So what
All
I'm
right.
trying to say, in our culture, which is the African culture, I always hear this: oh, she's in this position. Oh, forget this. You can't tell this one anything. You
Yeah.
don't even know
So
me. So why would you talk like that?
the
Well, that
reason
is all cultures, not just African one.
the reason you have that is because and there's no way I'm gonna make this conversation without generalization. See, first of all, the term generalization, we tend to throw it around a lot, and we tend to do an injustice with that. You cannot have a meaningful conversation without some level of generalization. Even in statistics, we generalize because sometimes we do that to be able to pass across a message, and it's not necessarily wrong. The only time it can be wrong is when it is not reflective of the kind of description that we're kind of trying to convey. That's when generalization can be wrong. Now, generally speaking, men tend to see themselves as providers, and women tend to see themselves as carers. Now, like one man was saying, if you come to a position where a man already, his role in the relationship is already been covered, been done by the woman, he naturally begins to wonder where what role he has to fill. I mean, in that kind of relationship. That's that aside. On the flip side, in the woman's side, when a woman is sees herself as a provider, there was one woman who was saying here that the man becomes insecure. No, that's possible. It's also equally possible that the woman sees herself in a domineering role where she finds it difficult to see her other half as even a partner. And then you can start having cases and issues coming up, even when the man is necessarily not it doesn't feel maybe he's not even insecure. And that's one of the reasons why when you see, if you go to we can just do a thought experiment. Just go to any dating show that we have online, on YouTube, anywhere, on Facebook. Go to a dating show and see how the criteria that men list and the criteria that women list. You'd see women saying, "Oh, I want a man who has certain amount of income." And then when you ask a man on the other side, okay, what are the things you want in a woman? Rarely, very rarely do you see a man say, "Oh, I want a woman with this." Money doesn't matter to them. And it's not a case of, the interesting thing about this is it is across board. It's not even the man that is from Africa who was born and raised in so-called quote unquote patriarchy that does this. The man even in the US who was raised in a gynocentric society will still say, "Oh, money doesn't matter to me." It's whether white, whether black, whether Caucasian, whether Asian, they still keep saying the same thing, that money doesn't matter to them. And we see this as well play itself in another dimension in terms of the hypergamy. You can look at it from that angle. Women are naturally hypergamous when it comes to relationship. So they would tend to look for things that may kind of secure the kind of financial security that a man can offer. That's one of the important things to them. So it's natural that a woman who has already made it, maybe she's earning around that's a very high earner. It is very difficult for her to find men within that her pool of interest. Now, remember I said women tend to date above or to date across. They hardly date down. And there are many reasons for that. I'm not ready to go into the reasons, because that if I do that, I'll
yeah, Mr. AB, even qualification, the women are now adding qualification status to it.
Yes, yes, they do.
If I mean, it's so unimaginable. I mean, the black women are finished.
So that's the main reason, because a man doesn't want, two captains can't captain a ship. You can't have two captains on the ship. So when you're having a woman with a high status, it's not just only the man that's doing this. Even the woman is wanting a man who earns higher than her, because she wants this sense of security that comes from that. Some women find it difficult to look at a man with respect when they know he's earning lesser. You may say all you want to say from now to tomorrow and say, "Oh, all the things you're saying are just good in theory. They're just idealistic." In the reality, depending on how very disciplined the woman is. You see, what I used to tell people this, the success of a relationship, right? If you have a man and woman who are after, traditional values. So I'm talking about the man who wants to settle down, the woman who wants to settle down. If you look at, I'm not talking about the woman who is the bad boy, the dark triad. I'm talking about the woman and the man, both of them are mature, they are ready to settle down. If you look at the dynamics of that relationship, the success of that relationship depends more on the woman than the man. And it's basically principle. It depends more on the man than on the woman. I'm sorry, on the woman. Sorry, it depends more on the woman than on the man. So if you have a situation like that where a woman earns more, their chances are that there will be friction in that relationship, not even necessarily coming from the man. So it's just natural order that the woman would desire a man who earns more than her, and not the other way around.
Okay, it's my turn now.
And please, and let me say, because I'll soon believe it. Let me just say something quickly on this issue. and I will step aside. Maybe someone else wants to come in. Okay. Is anyone hearing me?
Go ahead.
Yes, we hear you.
Yeah. So the the main issue I see in that case, because I don't have any problem marrying someone that is even richer than me.
I
My
know.
dad, my dad, my
Of
dad,
course, I know
my
you.
dad.
You won't.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what I'm
Mm.
saying. Not every man is. You can't put every man in a box.
Intimidated. Yes,
You
we
can't
have
put every man.
men, real
There's
men,
some men.
like
Let me tell you
real
something.
men, like
There's some
Joel of
doctors.
Nashville. You
There's some
know,
doctors that would not marry a CNA. So let's just be honest. There's some quality men that would not marry a CNA, and then there's some that will. And then there's women
Exactly.
that can settle for guys that are
Yeah.
not
To even add
CEOs.
to
They
that,
can settle
like me
for.
Exactly.
personally,
They can
me
marry a nurse.
personally,
So let's not put everybody in a box. You get what I'm
So that's the thing. So
me
I can actually
personally,
marry someone.
Jack,
I
can I
can.
say this real
I can.
quick, Jack?
Okay.
Jack, I am.
Go
So
ahead,
what I'm
brother.
trying to add to what you and Chama just said is what I focus on in a woman is just the character. I literally don't care about the status. You know, if she has a fantastic character, good attitude, I don't care if she's a billionaire. If she's just that woman that I enjoy being around. That's what
God
matters.
bless you, Mike.
That
Thank you
makes
for
sense.
that,
That
Mike.
makes sense.
Excellent, excellent.
So that's the point, right, Mike? That's the point right there, right? For we men, because most times women tend to think for us, and when I tell them, I say, look, this has to do with instincts. As a man, the money a woman makes is not our problem. We don't feel threatened. We're already condemned to make money. So you cannot threaten a man with money because he believes that if he cannot even provide for his family, he can provide for himself. And even if he cannot provide for himself, he will find a way to cope. And tomorrow he will look fine. He will just come out and whatever it is he will put it on and just keep it moving. They are condemned to be so. Now, with the woman that makes those money, this is one thing I found out because I see it with ordinary nursing, the normal nursing that we do. And Dupsy, I think we talked on this thing in the past. The issue there is that they come back home with the work. That's because when you're at the office, oh, you tell this person, go and do this, go and do that, go and do that. Some of them come back home with that same attitude towards their man. And for many people that have seen that had problem about this, that is the main issue.
That's
They
not the main issue.
disrespect.
Can we tell ourselves the truth as African
No,
men?
no.
That's
I'm
first
just
for one.
see. I say based on the people that I talk to, just listen to what I'm saying. That was the main issue. The main issue is that
You are gone. Your voice is gone.
oh, so I think I was unmuted. I was muted. Sorry. I think the issue there is this: for the one that I have talked to, the issue is that those women, according to them, bring that work back home. And you see, you can. Where do you strike a balance as a CEO of an organization, right? Just like I said, the kitchen belongs to you, right? So for some women, oh, I am working, so whatever he eats, he eats. Now, who provides for him? He's looking at it like, okay, this is my woman. And you come back and there is no interest.
Sorry, can anyone
No.
hear me? Can anyone hear me? Hello?
Is
Yeah, we can
anyone
hear you,
hearing me?
Omar. We can hear you.
Am I talking to
Sorry.
myself?
Sorry. Just breaking news for tonight. Biden drops out. So that's what we're discussing.
Finally.
Biden,
Are you
yes.
serious?
Finally.
Yeah, so
So who's
carry on with this
who's
conversation.
running?
This is not about politics. This is not a political space, but we're lining it up. So everybody gather
Wow.
for tonight.
Oh
Biden
wow. Oh
drops
wow.
out.
That's a coup. That's a coup right there.
But
Okay.
carry on with what
Yeah.
you're saying. So everybody gather for tonight.
Alrighty. So that's the thing. I believe that there are women that have made money that like I was listening to Okonjiwala. They were asking her, how do you manage both? She said that she's a boss at work and she's a wife at home. Many women that are of that status do not understand this. Yeah, there might be switching of roles, but the main issue is that they are not able to manage both. They are not able to manage both. They are not able to manage both. Okay. So that's the thing. I believe that there are women that have made money that there are women that have made money that right? Yeah, you can make your own food and all that. When you start doing those things, for the man, it's different. So I want us to start looking at it that way. For your friends, Adama, tell them they should be wives at home. I know it will be hard for you to cook and do all those things, but I mean, there are ways you plan these things. Make sure you make that food, put it in the fridge. He will understand. Instead of you calling for fresh food,
She
the guy
doesn't.
will
She doesn't
understand.
have to make the food. She can employ somebody. She has the
Or she
money.
can
I think
employ
it's
somebody, but
yeah.
make an effort to make sure that that stuff is there. Be a woman at
Can
home.
say
I
something
think that will
about
make the
so
difference.
what
Thank
I
you.
hear what the Nigerians were saying
And,
earlier.
and, and can I respond to what George said? Then I'll let everybody speak.
Go ahead.
Joe,
Yeah.
I appreciate what you said, and it's so true. There's something we say in Igbo language. We say "agwabuma wine," which is what Mike touched on. A good character is what you use to define a woman. And I always say this: no matter how busy your schedule is, it doesn't matter. You make a time for that person. I married a neurosurgeon, so we met at the OR because I'm an anesthesiologist, so I love what I do. So he's a priority before any other person. But do I have friends who are struggling to date? Yes. And the thing becomes even one went as far as bringing someone from back home, and it didn't work out. So I think we need to learn both parties, men, women. My husband's schedule is hectic. So when I jumped into it, I know what I was getting into. So the point I want to make is we need to learn to make each other a priority. If we don't, you're going to lose it. You will both lose each other. No matter how busy his schedule is, my schedule is, we have learned to make each other a priority. And we communicate, even when I'm overwhelmed, he's overwhelmed. We sit down, we communicate, we hang out. We are best friends first before any other thing. We can talk about anything. Then when it comes to the bedroom, I'm whatever he wants me to be. So I think we women, as much as we wear different kind of hearts, whatever your profession is, your number one profession should be your spouse. If you're married, your relationship. So I believe if you understand that dynamic, no matter what position you hold, you will not feel threatened, both at home and at work. Thank you.
Okay,
Oh,
it's my
Thank you
who
so
turn
just
now.
much,
spoke? Who just
Adama.
spoke? Who just spoke, please? Who just
Your
spoke?
your, your girlfriend. Your,
Adama.
girl, your girl.
Your husband is lucky. He's a lucky man. All right, go ahead.
It's my turn to give my own take. Yeah,
Okay,
good day,
who?
everybody.
Yeah, who's this?
That's Cyrus.
Oh, Cyrus, go ahead.
Yeah, good day to everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we as Africans, we don't really value our cultural norms and values and way of life in Africa. So when we go abroad, we carry that same low mentality abroad. If you look at all the other cultures, the Indians, the Arabs, the Hispanics, and every other culture, they bring the dynamics of the culture from the country abroad and they maintain it and they use that as a basis for success. But we Africans, we don't see our own system as being anything that's even working. So anything we can do to erode and diminish it, that is what we normally go for. So in our culture now, in the diasporic culture, I mean, just in general in Africa, if you've been paying attention to popular media this last 5 to 10 years, we're now hearing terms that we have never heard before. We are hearing people discussing baby mama. We are hearing people discussing dating. We're hearing all sorts of and seeing all sorts of things that we still is still alien to our culture, but it's now receiving some kind of strange push to relevance. Like even on this show now, the title is not with the difficulties in marrying an African man. We have reduced ourselves to now as dating. If you go into that dating thing, is there anything reasonable in that? So we ourselves are pushing the degradation of our culture. Now, in regards to the money and woman make more money than man make more money than woman. Us African men, we have to be honest to ourselves in that spot in that we are not performing. We are not performing at all the way we're supposed to be performing. If you a lot of us we don't get educated. We're not educated, and our wives, a lot of them are initially are not educated. But instead of us focusing on educating ourselves first and then educating our women, we educate our women, we don't educate ourselves, and then we then dictate and say, oh, this is how the money should go. We should go use it and do this thing in Nigeria. And once she says, oh, once she starts seeing things in a little bit of a different way, that's where all the massive problem starts. So as African men, we're not really upholding our cultural value system the way that other men in the states are doing. You cannot have your wife being a doctor and you're being a taxi and you think that there's going to be no problem. No, but a lot of African men, not only are we comfortable with this, but that is the mentality we promote. So I would not advise any man to be relaxed and be lazy that, oh, your wife is making more than you should not be worried about anything. No, that's not how the world works. You have to be active. Either you're doing the business, either you're educated as well, or you have a shop or a gas station somewhere that at least you're if you're not making more than her, at least something comparable. But you can't have that kind of disparity between the incomes. So everything that's happening in the diaspora to us African men, we're at fault and we have the solution to it. We need to solve it and be serious about it. So that's my take in general.
Yeah, can I just
Thank you.
chime in on that? This
Yeah.
ASAP here. Yeah, Adama. First of all, I would just like to acknowledge your take the last time. If that is really your disposition towards marriage, you're like not like is it Israel also said then your husband is a really lucky man, because that's actually the exception to
I'm
what
telling you.
uh,
Thank
sorry,
you. Thank you.
Not is it really, and I would really encourage other ladies to take on that disposition. To what my brother who just spoke, is it what's his name? Um,
Oh,
the man
that's
who just
Cyrus.
yes, Simon.
Cyrus.
Yeah. He has a very important point, and
We're the one causing these issues abroad. We throw away our value system and then we're over complaining.
So now there's something I like. You're generally speaking, you're right, but there's also a dimension that you might not have considered in your analysis. For example, there's this notion that we have that the other groups, like maybe the ones from the Arabs, and then maybe perhaps the East Asian, and then they bring in their culture, say for example, into the West, UK, US, Canada, Australia.
And it's working for them.
Yeah, hold on. Okay, but see, okay, if we talk now, everyone is going to say, "Oh, well, you're talking based on anecdotes and anecdotal evidence and the rest." So let's not talk based on that, so that we don't say we're not generalizing. Let's talk based on the facts, on data that is available that we can analyze. I don't think that may have been the case at some point, but have you really examined the data after and current data now? Because
Oh, sorry, go ahead.
yeah, so please I support your position, but I'm just letting you see that it's not just the Africans who are experiencing what you're describing. You might not know this, but the other groups, it's already beginning to set in into
No. You see, this mentality now is an excuse to either
no,
keep
it's
on
not.
doing what we're doing,
Why
or
don't you let me?
don't take it as a big issue.
Let me just land. Let me land, and then you say, because I want you to go and look at the data. I mean, it's available online on Pew Research.
Watch the tell us which data
So
is that.
in terms of the rate of dissolution, right?
Mhm.
It's also beginning to trickle into especially the Asian community as well. Their women are now becoming more Americanized, and so they are beginning to have these hitches you're describing, that is you're attributing to Africans. They're beginning to have this disconnect. Now, there's another thing again that you might not have taken into cognizance. You see, when it comes to first generation immigrants, we have people that come in like that. Yes, they can still uphold these traditional gender roles when they enter into the West. But what happens after the second generation? That is, you have the foreign born immigrants. You begin to see them already inculcate and assimilate into the dominant culture. And so, even if the first generation could still hold on these
My
values.
brother, that is not that is not complete. I can't say that's true because they still
Okay,
retain their language.
you can't tell me that is not true because
They maintain their
actually read.
religion and they
That's true,
maintain the
man. There's
fight
no
for the
argument in
people.
that, man. Majority of them are by second generation, they are gone, man. Come on.
No,
Thank
I
you,
disagree to
thank
that.
There's
you.
no
So
That's
hold
not true.
on, my brother, hold on. Before you argue with me, I told you, I said we could go on this in terms of the anecdotes and say, okay, based on anecdote, I have actually gone through the research itself, the data itself that has been conducted on this. Second generation don't keep these values. They are pure Americans. They do things that are acceptable. So they may have an ancestry that is from Africa. They might have an ancestry that is from Southeast Asia. They might have an ancestry that is from India. But by the time you see the outcomes, you see them have those same trends.
That's not true, man. When I
Well,
go
how
off
can you
the
say
But
that's
they are
books,
not
supposed
okay?
to
Well,
be gone,
it's not
though.
true.
But they are supposed to be gone now. I mean, they are Americans now. They are
they're
they don't
Americans.
have any ties to
Yeah,
it.
they don't
So
have any
what's the
tie.
point
They
of
don't.
trying to make? I mean,
No,
They're
all they still
Americans.
you see
if
the Arab
you don't
women.
want them to be gone, then go and raise them in Africa. You can't say someone born
That's not
American
true.
person have to be still. I mean, they're supposed to be gone. They're supposed to be Americans. Same
No,
with all
That's
the
that's not
white
true.
Americans today.
that's
They
the
all
no.
descendants of
You
That's
hello. Why
European
you
incorrect.
colonists
okay?
now.
On what basis? Hello. Let me ask you a question. On what basis are you saying that's not true? On what basis are you saying
For
that?
example, if you live in an area where there's, let's say, Arabs or Indians, the Arab girls, all of them are still wearing that hijab. Some of them wearing that full black
Yeah, that's
stuff.
religion. That's religion.
And that's part
That
of
is.
what
They
I'm
don't
saying. They
practice
may
their.
say
Are
they
we?
speak their
There's no way
language.
I
second gen.
thought.
Hold on, guys. Hold on. Give me a second. There's no way a second generation Arab girl is the same as an Arab woman in Arab country. No way.
What's
They are
the major
completely
difference?
American. They are Americanized.
What's the
The
what's
only
what
What
do
do
you
you,
mean
what do you
difference
mean
is
by
that
Americanized?
mixing with
Americanized?
religion is the only thing. But religion has
That's
They're
nothing to
not
do
not
with
true.
culture.
entirely. It's not entirely true. They're not entirely Americanized. They can adopt the culture in a way, but they still know their tradition back home.
They still
They
focus
know
on
their
their country
tradition,
back
but they
home.
are
They still follow their
but they are
tradition.
they are
It depends on how they're raised at home.
Majority of
They're
them
still
are
Please,
no,
please,
not like
let,
that.
let me say this, please. Let me say this real quick, please. The issue is this: we might choose to live in denial, but 80 to 90% of kids we give birth to in a foreign land, we lost them. I'm sorry to say this. They might remember Nigeria. Okay, my father comes from Nigeria, but these kids don't care. They ain't going back there, especially if Nigeria is not doing good. You do not expect those kids to go back. You expect our kids to go back.
Very
So I
correct.
to
know
be able
Very
to
it is.
correct.
survive
It is.
Very
It
correct.
depends on the parents,
It
though.
is.
It
It
depends on the
doesn't
Yeah.
depend on the
parents.
parent. That is how it is
Let me
everywhere
see.
for
It
but
us.
depends on
Chairman,
the
they will
parent. You see,
acknowledge their roots, but they will not have
they will
their
not stay
mentality will
there.
not be of their
They
roots. It
cannot
will be
be.
more of the community they grew
They
up in, an
have been
American
watered down.
neighborhood and the
Gentlemen,
environment, but they
I
will
think
not.
I think Dupsy wants to move the conversation on as we enter the final phase. Dupsy,
Oh, but one man I haven't spoken yet. Oh,
yeah, maybe you will kick off the next topic.
no, but I
Okay.
want to make a contribution to this one here. About the women.
Oh yeah, then go ahead. Yeah, go ahead.
Thank you very much. So, Kujometa, I'm very happy to see you again.
Kujobeta.
So I hope that all the women that are listening right now, all the Nigerian women, I hope that when I know they wear these dead people's Indian hair. First of all,
I'm
you know
actually
what I'm saying?
wearing one now.
I still love my bundles. So
Yeah,
next.
you see, because that is where because you guys, you guys you refuse to to address the elephant in the room. You guys are just looking for you are not saying why. Why?
Sorry. Tony, I think we actually have a clip on what you just said. It's just about a minute.
28 years old.
Yes, sir.
I have 2 degrees, a bachelor's of science in criminal justice and a master's degree of science in criminal justice. If there's one thing I can advise you to do not go to school. Do not get your bachelor's, do not get your master's unless...
Why do you put on Indian human hair? Can I ask? You know how we get that hair? When nothing goes right in the life of a Hindu person, they go through a ceremony called Tansho, where the priest in the temple incantates all the bad luck they are facing onto the hair because for them to cut hair is such a taboo. But so that it indicates a new phase of metamorphosis, they shave their hair clean. They used to burn that hair because they understood they're burning all the bad luck, until they realized the stupid African woman wants to put it on their head. So you buy your own bad luck and you put it on your head. So I think I'll leave it there.
That is an issue for African men to solve, not African women.
Thank you very much. No,
it's
hold on,
not
hold
on
on. Yeah,
African women. It's on African
we're already
men to
solving
solve
it.
that
We're
issue.
already solving it. It's
No,
my
we're
turn.
not solving that issue, man.
Man,
It's my turn. It's my turn, please.
Who made that statement that said is an
It's my
African
turn. It's my
man
turn,
from-
Mr. Man. Mr.
Let
Man.
Tony make his contribution,
Yes.
please. Go ahead.
I mean,
yeah.
hold on. That guy should.
Let Tony go ahead, please.
So thank you very much, woman. God bless you. The God of our ancestors, not be Jesus Christ, not be Muhammad, the God, an African God. It's all part of the show. We need to be taking back home. You know what I'm saying? Our culture is our culture. So let's wonder that we are having a lot of divorces amongst us because can you just imagine that you are meeting with a woman, then you fall in love with her, and then all of a sudden you get home. After 1 week, she's going to buy different sort of, dead Indian or Brazilian hair, and then changing it. And then when you are laying down with her, then sometimes you pull it out, and then she's looking different, and then plus bleaching, aka painting of skin and all this kind of stuff. We are really, then to the point that Joel just made, like I also have a daughter here who's already 18 years now, so it's a Hercule's job for me to be doing, to be having the contact, try to connect her to my family members, so, I have to be begging her, oh, please talk to my brother, my cousin, all your cousins, you know what I'm saying? Every day I keep reminding her, it's not it's not an easy job. So that is why that we have to work very hard to see that, by partisanship, we don't have to be say that, okay, this party is good, this party is not good. So our country need, really need how to, really have to work so that we can be able to go back home, because right now, yesterday I was able to listen to some women at the free show. You see that most of the women there, they said they are not ready to go back to their country. They already made their pension plans to remain in the US, to remain in Germany, to remain in England, all this kind of stuff. So then we born our children for the future of Africa, the continent, So a lot of things that are going on. So, it's very painful. You know what I'm saying? So I'm pro, and then if I'm married to a black woman, and then the woman start to speak like Chioma is speaking right now, but you see that Dupsy is always speaking very nice, I love her voice. She's keeping her Africanness steady, but you see a lot of women, they will begin to call their tongues because they want to speak like Oyibo. We can't wahala be that. So then for the white woman, I give it, they're the best too, because a black woman, white men, they don't make makeup as the white men, they don't
Man,
care
those
about
women
your
are
makeup.
so entitled. Come on now.
Hold on.
Those women have everything. I used
No,
to have
hold
a
on.
husband.
You know that I have 5 minutes to speak. So then the white women, on the other hand, they're just what they are. They're just what they are. You know what
They
I'm
are
saying?
entitled.
No, hold on. You are. What a entitlement! I know that many black women have been said that, oh, the world have evolved, so therefore I don't have to respect my man. I don't. We are now 50-50. All this kind of stuff. We should start getting our ass, right. What the hell? Why you just try to interrupt my submission here? Because this woman went to Mo is an educative platform where we can it's gonna take a long time. It's gonna take a lot of time for the people to adjust. But at the end of the day, that's a necessary adjustment that we have to make as Black Africa, because the white people, they don't give a damn, and they can't people say that you are losing ground. That back in the days, many white women usually play their hair, Bob Marley hair, and various African hairstyle. And then giving our black women upper hand in doing their business, all this Afro shop. Right now, the moment that the black people started to switch to their hairstyle or whatever, they have stopped plaiting their hair now in the Afro shop. So we are losing. We are losing we are losing our religion, we are losing our culture, we are losing everything, and then the kids that we are having here, So that's it. I don't want to talk too much. Thank you very much. I love the white women too much. I love them.
Mr. Tony, Mr. Tony, you know that.
Yeah.
Mr. Tony, you know that white women, they're getting fillers on their lips, and they're getting fillers
and they're doing Botox.
Speak to me. Speak to me like a Nigerian woman, please. Look, I
This
don't
is
hear
what she
you,
speaks
madam.
funny. Leave her
I
I
alone.
don't
they're
hear
trying
you, but
to look. I said
uh,
that like the Oyibo pepper that you like, right? They're
uh,
trying to look like black women now. They're getting their
no,
butt.
no. That was before. That was before. They try to be like us because I'm in Germany. I know how much the black women here are making. They were making back then because many white girls. I'm like a kind of like a flirt. I'm a nightclub guy. I'm a night guy. So I always bring many girls to the various Afro shops, even private uh, uh, hair platters. You know what I'm saying? So because sometimes the Afro shops are filled up. It usually take long time for them to play this their hair. Right now, nothing like that is happening because the black women have choose the other way. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
all of them, they jackpot. They sell their properties. They come out only to end up in the streets of London, sleeping on the, at the bus stop or becoming what they are not. They were not made to be. So, but I usually doubt your nationality until I hear you saying Ndewo to our brother
All right, that's
Joy. Then I
brilliant.
now know that you're Nigerian. Okay, one man. Thank you very much, sir.
All right, do you want
Miss
to bring up the
Zupsi,
next
Yeah,
topic
can
and
I
we
please
start
yeah,
speak
Dave.
on
answering
this
that?
topic?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Let's move on, please. I want
Oh,
to. I'm
please,
tired
Miss
already.
Zupsi, can I speak on the topic at hand,
Who's
please?
this?
No, I think you are
Can
kicking off the next topic anyway. Let Duxie bring up the
okay,
topic and then
okay,
you can
Yeah.
flow.
okay.
Yeah.
So let's change the topic here. So I just want to know what you guys think about age difference in marriages. So I don't. It's always good. My opinion is that it's always good for a man to be
Yeah.
older. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Let me just say this, Adama, that it's always good for a guy to be older. But regardless, I'm not even about the age per se. I what I've noticed that a lot of men can play that role of husband. So if you are not matured enough, regardless of your age, even some older men still behave like babies. If you can't play that if you can't play that role of a husband, do not get involved in that thing called marriage. So I don't really care what your age is, as long as you have the maturity for marriage. Because when we say older men, sometimes they behave like babies too. So that is why I'm really concerned that we should change the narrative of boxing men into that thing called marriage. I think most men are not matured for it, regardless of their age. We don't even,
Dupsy,
yeah. Yeah.
you said you wanted to kick this off with we can do, but let me just chime
Yeah.
this in.
Yeah.
We are talking about age difference. So the first thing we're establishing is it acceptable for the woman to be older and by what margin? And then what margin is an acceptable age difference as well? The convention says for a man that is depending on what your age is either half your age plus 10, that's the norm, or half your age plus 5 if you're that bit older. So it's half your age. So let's say you are in your 30s for instance, then it's probably half your age plus 10. But half your age plus 10, half your age plus 5, that's the norm for a man. But what is an acceptable age, Kazim? Yeah.
Yeah, can do. Yeah, you can go ahead with that. Can do.
Yes, yes. I think this age thing. When I think about it, I have to think in terms of even traditional African society. You have to come into your own before you can become a husband, even in traditional African society. Either you've been, following your father or some uncle for a while. It's not something that you generally do at 22. And in the modern age, for the average man, not the guy that got out of MIT at 22 and started collecting a $120,000 salary at 25. That's not average. So for the average man, it takes maybe a decade to build himself up to that, to be positioned
at a place where you can quote unquote be able to afford a woman who is going to become your wife and the mother of your children. So, like one man said, are we talking about half your age plus five or plus 10? Because I think, well, I'm not sure, how true this is, which is they say, oh, men or males, it takes them longer years to become mature, that the women mature faster than the men. I don't know if that's true. I don't know how that stat was put together. But in addition to that, I wanted to comment on the last issue, which was the issue of are men or African men intimidated somehow by a woman that has more money than them. And having been someone, I've dated a woman that was making $600,000 when I was making way less than that. I've dated doctors making 300,000. I've dated, you name it. And I think it depends on the type of man, because even in those scenarios that we're talking about, if your woman is a surgeon and she's making 450,000, and you're doing whatever you do and you're making 150,000, um, hopefully you have enough sense to own a house outright by that age. So we don't have a mortgage. Even if she's making 450 and I'm making 100, there is no mortgage. What's the problem? I mean, what are you guys eating? So it depends on the type of man. And that is, to me, this is one of the reasons why it is important to choose a man. Not because of how well he looks, it's because he's 6'2", but the real quality of a man. What constitutes a man? Does he command respect even among his friends? So, I don't believe, because this is something you hear online. Oh, men are intimidated. From my experience and the experience of people I have seen, it is not that the man is intimidated by the woman making more money. It is when the woman makes the money the object. Oh, it's my money anyway. When you throw it in his face. And it also, again, it depends on the type of man you into. If it's a man like me, I don't need you to buy me a car. I don't need you to buy me anything. So I don't care if you make $20 million a year. That's just your money. It means absolutely nothing to me. And in most of these cases, the women, regardless of what the man is making, they still want the man to pay all the bills anyway. So what difference does it make if you make $1 million a year that I cannot spend? It's so immaterial. It's almost laughable. And when I used to live in California, we've had a number of high-powered women in industry in California that are Indian descent, um, Pakistani, Asians, that all of them make way more money than their husbands. And somehow they're able to have a life. But in our society, for some reason, you have a lot of people who, because of the money they make, that money now becomes power. And when you try to lord that money over the type of man, maybe you can do that with some yeah guy. But the guy who is confident in his own skin, he doesn't need your money. So your money means nothing. It is those men who need your money that becomes a problem for. But men that don't need your money, it's irrelevant how much you make. And you can't be lord and master over those type of people. At least that's been my observation.
Yeah,
I would
thank
like
you.
to
I,
I would like
I
to add
agree with you.
I would like to add to
Dipsy,
some
I agree with you, Mr. Ken.
Yeah,
I feel like
Dipsy.
if a man
I
wants to
can
make
hear
a
you, Mike.
Uh,
I can hear you very
is
well,
everybody
Mike.
there?
yeah, we're
I know
here.
one man told me he
Mike
left.
was trying to say.
So who's taking charge?
yeah, I would like to
I think
say a
the
few
Adamas,
things
you
to this.
wanna take charge of
Sorry,
it.
Mike.
But anyway,
Mike, I'm here now, but
I think we
Dupsy.
should move to the new topic, which
No,
is
I don't think Mike
I
can
think
hear
she's
anyone.
what's
Can
that? I don't
everyone
know
hear
what's
me?
answer is age or said to
No,
be
no.
range of craft.
Yes, we can hear you, one man.
Yeah, I don't think Mike can hear anyone, but we can hear him. But yeah. So sorry. Back to you, Dupsy. You were calling somebody else.
Yeah, Chema was trying to say something. Chema, go ahead.
Yeah,
Oh,
I
Mama, you
was.
say you can't hear
Yeah,
me?
yeah, we can't hear you.
Can you
Oh,
hear
okay, okay.
us? We can hear you, but
Yeah,
can
we
you
can
hear
hear
Yeah,
you.
I
us?
We
can
can
hear
hear
you.
you
I can
fine.
hear you. I can hear
Yeah. No.
Mama.
No.
I just
Yeah.
but I wasn't
No.
hearing
No.
Dupsy earlier. That's why I was. Yeah, go ahead.
Yes. No. No. Dupsy is audible. I think she's coordinating the thing. I think she's calling Choma to speak.
Yeah, I was saying that I agree with everything Mr. Candu said. You know, if you're a broke man and you want to marry a rich woman, that's fine. And if you're an okay girl and you want to marry a rich man, do what makes you happy. As long as there's love and respect, it's the most important. But as for me personally, don't ask me for money. That's a turn off for
Um,
me. That's all
Choma,
I have to say. Unless I'm married to you and we're going through shit. But please don't ask me for money. Period.
woman, Choma,
Sorry. What
Choma,
about you asking the man for money? That's acceptable.
That's
Hundred
normal now.
percent, hundred
woman,
percent.
That's normal.
But do
That's
not
normal.
ever ask me for money. I
That's
don't care
normal.
so
how
Woman,
rich I
woman,
a
am.
woman
woman,
asks a
I
man
don't
for
care
money.
if I'm
someone,
Dangote's daughter. Do
That's
not ask me for money unless I'm married to you
Why?
and you're going through shit.
Choma,
Why
Because
not,
it's a
Chama?
turn off. Like
woman, can I say
I
something?
know
Can I
you.
say
I
something?
know if I was a rich woman, if I was like Dangote's daughter, right? I know like I'm a hot commodity. You know, I'm like high
Hello,
value.
woman,
You
can you
know.
hear me?
Well,
Yeah,
she's
we
talking now.
can
Let
hear
her know.
you.
I hear you,
Okay.
but
Yeah, I feel like if I was Dangote's daughter, right? I know I'm absolutely high value. You know, anybody that wants me, they want me for my good character. And of course, I'm Dangote's daughter, right? But do not ask me for money. Just like me for who I am. And then, you know, it comes with it. It comes with the territory. Do not ask me for money, period.
But what if the guy
Unless
is a
we're
fantastic
married,
guy,
unless
Chama?
we're already married and we're trying
Okay,
to
okay, that
invest
makes sense.
in you. And but do not, if I'm dating you, do not ask me for money. I don't care what you're going through. But if we're married, that's fine. You know, that's fine.
Okay, can I just say something? Well, I think at least we know where Choma stands, and Choma is not trying um, to kind of like present herself the way she's not, and that's quite different from what you have in the dating market, where you have women on one side saying they want 50-50, and then on the same breath, they're also asking for chivalry and saying they want a man that can take charge. And that's what you tend to see where there's this kind of, you know, mixed signals that you have from the modern westernized woman. But at least we know where Choma stands. She comes across to me like someone who's of the traditional mindset, and that's
Traditional?
yeah. I mean, Choma, would I be wrong to say that, right? Do you want a traditional man?
Yeah, I love traditional man. I love a
I mean, so
man's man.
that's
Yeah.
that's from the horse's mouth. So now
Okay.
going back to what I want to believe what the other person who spoke about said was trying to say was that from his own perspective as a man, he wouldn't have any problem. But here's the thing: if you look at a woman that earns more in terms of the hypergamy and that it, I understand the language in what he's trying to say, but I want to capture it from another aspect. It depends on both the man and the woman. Like we've seen Trauma demonstrate now. If the woman is not comfortable with her being the dominant party, like women say this all the time. And funny enough, men hear this and see it doesn't seem to sink in. They say it all the time. Our money, your money is our money, and my money is my money. They say it all the time. So I don't know what we don't get clear there. And yet the same women say they want 50-50. I mean, how does that really coexist? That to me are two opposing facts. You can't say, oh, you want your money is your money, and our money is your money is our money, my money is my money. Then at the same time, you're saying you're asking for 50-50. But but for someone like Choma, I mean, you can appreciate that she's sincere. You know where she stands from day one. For me, as an African man, I have no problem with a woman like that. Now, The problem now starts when you have people saying, "Oh, they want they want to be able to enjoy the perks that come with feminism, and at the same time they want a traditional man." And that's what you have in most of this dating pool. And for let me say this from a traditional perspective, I don't think it depends. The onus depends more on the woman when she earns more, because see, whether we like it or not, we are all human beings and we're biological. Now, for the general, I'm not saying for all women, there are always exceptions. There are always women who always do exceptionally. A woman that comes with a traditional mindset, forget about what she tells you. If she says to you that she earns more, and she would want you to also have some things you're doing in the on the front, and if you're not doing that, even if you're not even doing that, women would tend to, they always try to drive the man
ASAP, you need to wrap
outside.
it up, man. We get all this, man. I think Duke's already moved to the next topic. We can't get stuck on this money thing, man, woman money. Let's try to. I think she went to a new topic. We need to get on that topic too, man. Abby, yeah, Dupsy.
Yes, Jerry, but you know
Yeah,
people now.
yeah, you
Well,
already
I'm
mentioned
on
that
your
new topic.
phone.
Let's get to that topic, and we'll be
I
talking this
don't
one for
know.
like 1 hour. I mean,
Okay,
we have to move on.
Mike, do you have something to say to this new topic?
So you
Mike,
say age, Abby.
age
Well, I see what man
difference.
saying. Yeah, to me, this is my advice. I think people should focus on their match, because everybody have a match. Everyone is not for everyone. There's that particular individual where you guys just click, and when you find that person, you will have a very happy relationship. All these other things will not even matter, like the age gap, the height, the money. It won't matter if you just click with this one human being where two of you just like being around each other, just enjoy each other, like your spirit connects. To me, I think that's what people should focus on in life, in terms of the opposite gender who you want to marry or you want to spend your life with. To me, that's my best advice to anyone.
Yeah, but
Pay
Mike,
attention to that.
you are talking you are
Find
talking
your
in the
match
in
and stop all these
in
other
the
complications. It's just a waste of
okay.
time, a waste of uh, energy. And if you're a traditional person, I'll say you do divination when you meet someone. If that person is the right person, you get the answer. Then for you other ones, well, just use your I guess use your head to figure it out. That's what I would say about this
Yeah.
new topic.
But that is only in the
Thank you,
white
Mike.
people's land. You can do that. But like say that age doesn't matter, richness doesn't matter. Because in Germany here, you can be having a Rolls Royce as a woman. You will fall in love with somebody who doesn't even have a bicycle. So in the African way, there's no way, Mike. So let's say
Thank,
you see, you talk them again.
thank
Because
you,
black
Mike.
people know they
Thank you.
accept that one. Say that age difference. Like in Germany here, they don't give a damn about age differences. It's just about love, that connectivity, the spiritual, whatever you said. But in the Africa people, not be like that.
Thank you. Thank you, Tony. How about Dama? Chioma, what do you have to say to this before I round up?
Yes, I can never marry a younger. For my own personal, I can never date or marry younger guy. I mean, I can date a younger guy if he was like a basketball player or a football player or maybe a rapper, just for fun. But I can never marry a younger like man. I like older men because I like a man to be in charge.
Sorry, Choma, what's your cutoff in terms of age, older guy? Do you have a cutoff that I can't date somebody that is older than this?
I can't date someone older than 54.
No,
And how
no,
old
you
are
need
you?
the age difference. The age difference. Age difference. It's 10 years difference.
No,
I
no, she
like
Plus,
10
understood.
years.
No, no, she
I
understood the
like
question. Sorry, carry on.
I like
Carry on,
10
Tom.
years. I like 10 years and above, but my limit is 50. I can't date someone older than 54 because
Well, how old
that's
are
just
you then?
that's too old. I'm in my early 30s, but I just
Okay.
like older men because I like to feel a sense of security. And I just see myself with an older man. I get along with, I don't really like my age mates, like boys. No, I just get along well with,
very
men.
fair. Very fair. Fair enough. 20 years is very good. You are a good woman. Okay. You are serious.
Yeah, it's just that's just my opinion. I respect older men, you know. I mean, I can have fun with like younger guys for fun, but it's really nothing long term, honestly. And I'll see them as a brother, you know, like a brother or a cousin, you know, a play friend. Not really anything serious. I respect older men, accomplished men, you know. Yeah.
Chioma, Chioma.
Dadama.
You don't have to
Yes,
be, you don't have
yes.
to be
You
like,
don't spoil am with accomplishment there. That means say you look for a big man when you get money.
no, not just like, I mean, in
Is
whatever
there any
field you
problem
are.
in
Please,
that?
is there any? That's her preference. Let
No,
her
no,
just
Yes,
no, no,
express
no,
there's no
no,
yes.
like
problem in
in
that.
whatever, if
That's
you're
what she desires, and
like
that's
I
what she's going to
like
do.
even if a man is a nurse, right? I would still like you if you're older because you know, wisdom turns me on. I love older men. You know, I love men that have sense because some of these boys they can disgrace you. You know, even if they want to cheat, just like boom, like you know, you're seeing panties, you're seeing lipstick. You know, older men they have a swag. You know, they're just the way they move is
My
different.
dear, I'm seconding that. I'm seconding what you're
Yes,
saying. I'm
and then you
seconding
know,
it.
I just
But
like the deep
there's some
voice.
older men that are still petty as well.
I like calling the
Yeah.
guy daddy. You know, I can't do that with a small boy now.
Chioma,
I like you a
Chioma,
basketball player.
Uh-oh.
Chioma.
Are we even call me daddy now? Call me that. Is this
Then,
call me
I'm
daddy?
with Choma today. Oh. Ah.
But Chioma, you finish so I can pick up. I'm cooking, so that's why I left for a while. Yeah,
okay.
well, I think my preference. I'm going to stay. I'm going to make it look at it from a two point of view. The first view is age. If you're a woman who has kids and you meet a man who wants kids and you're probably older. For me, I'm in my late 40s, almost 50. So I think I look good, you know. I know I look good, not I think I look good. So for me, being married to someone who is much older, I love older men. I even when I was single in my 20s, 30s, I dated men who are way older than me because I feel like their level of maturity and men that I dated are men who are like they know what they want. Like they're established, they're there. I don't have to babysit anyone. It's about you know, we both know where we stand. You know, nobody's intimidated, nobody's questioning each other or and I think for me, older men are nurturing. I've not dated any younger person, so I cannot comment on that. So I would say if you are a woman who is established or not established and you have kids and you fall in love with someone who wants kids and they don't have any children, then it becomes a problem because you're older, he's younger. Because a lot of older women like young men too. You know, we need to be honest here. Some women, that's all they prefer dating is younger men. So, but for me in particular, I would stick to my old, you know, I like men who, you know, they have 401k retirement, they have your life planned out and benefits and all. So that's all I have to say.
Thank you,
Yeah,
Adama.
Adama,
Yeah,
I like how you
yeah,
said a lot of women, some women
yeah.
like younger guys, you know, those are those, you know, those Instagram girls, you know, the ones that like
Yeah,
looking
they call them cougars. You know,
yeah,
cougars like
not
yes.
even that, like Gen Zs, you know, they like guys that matches their outfit. They can wear the same kids.
Yes, they get to dress the guy the way they
They match.
want, everything.
Yes,
Yes.
it's
And
for
you
the gram.
sit on their laps and I'm like, Daddy, how you doing? And you're like, oh, I'm doing good, baby.
And you know, and sometimes those relationship is sustainable because it's like they can have fun with each other. Whereas sometimes the older man is usually busy and you know he's doing his own thing. You don't really have time to be playing matchmaking outfits with him. So it's like there's pros and cons to every relationship. But I think the most important thing is what turns you on inside.
And
What
Chima,
makes
and I
you
think another important part you were leaving out, but now we are talking about it, like the show we had yesterday in Dr. Damages, it was basically about sex, to be honest, and I really enjoy it. I think we need to be so, I think the most important thing, Miss Dupsy, with this older men, a lot of our older men are good in bed. They are freaks. When I say good and bad,
Really?
they are.
Older man?
Yeah, yes, they are. So we need to be comfortable to
And
express those things.
So
And
older men have more energy than younger men. Is that what you're telling us?
how do you know?
Experience.
How
They
do
have
you
more
know this
experience.
information? How do
it's
you know?
called experience.
How would
For
you not know
me,
now?
you see, someone who is younger wants to,
She's not a
the way I
virgin
had,
now. Come on, slowly.
no, hold on, the way I had sex, Mike, in my
But how does she
20s.
know the difference between older and
Oh,
younger?
hold on. The way I had when I had sex when I was 20s is different from the way I have sex now in my late 40s going on 50. The point I'm trying to make is this. Right now is all about get me to that orgasm and bring me back. In my 20s, I was just fucking. That was it. I didn't even care if I had orgasm. So that's the difference. When you're dealing with matured men who know what they're doing, they come in, they satisfy you, and they make sure you're satisfied in all aspects.
So
So
older
that's
men
what
have
I'm talking
more.
about.
So
I
young
don't
It's
boys'
called
even, I
energy.
Mike.
don't
Mike
care,
is called
Adama.
attention to detail,
Hey.
Mike.
Yeah, they do. I think older men, but it's not all of them. Don't let us
No,
generalize.
no, it's not
That's
all. It's
yeah.
not
Don't
all.
let's
Yes.
generalize. But yeah, some older men are
Maybe when you're
babies in
younger,
the
you're
heart.
dating
They are not
nerds,
matured,
you're
so we
dating good
can't just
boys.
But
generalize
Mike,
that you
it's
have to
not
date.
Mike. I
Yeah,
think you're seeing it about. You're seeing it too much
Maybe you're not the
about
kind of
like
girl Candy
Can
was
I
talking
ask you a
about. You don't like bad
question?
boys,
Can I ask you a
Mike, you're
question?
saying it about like intercourse. It's not so much about intercourse. It's like there's a way older men that will look at you. That already is like, oh yes,
Can,
honey.
can I
That's it. You know, there's a way they
can
look at,
I
yeah.
Because
you
you're,
and
can
like,
I
and
But
the way they
it's
grab your ass,
important.
the way they grab your ass,
no,
you're
but
clicking
even
and
the
they'll
way
be
they'll
all over
caress
you.
you,
Yes.
there's a
So
way they'll caress your
the bad boys
hair.
are not young bad boys are not grabbed.
No, the young
They're
white
too
boys, you guys
wild.
are too rough. You
Yeah,
guys
they're
are
too
too rough. It's like
wild.
bang, 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 bang.
It's not even that. Like they don't touch you. They
can
don't
I
feel your arms and give you compliments.
can I ask a
Older men are
question?
smooth. So it's
Who is
not about
that? Who is this
intercourse.
one that wants to ask a question when women are
Solly,
talking? Solly,
Solly,
what do you know that we are talking about that you came
Solly
in
of
then? What's that?
AKC. Number one.
What do you know that we are talking about
Solly
here?
wants to
And
Can
you
I
represent
just
ask?
young
came
men.
in
He
then.
Solly,
wants to
tell
put his
them, tell
Gen
them.
Z 2 cents in now, Miss Miss Josie. Before Solly speak, please, can my sister Lou, please, I want her opinion on this. Then we can go to the man, please.
Okay.
If it's okay, Miss Dupsy.
Oh
Okay,
my
that's fine.
God,
Yeah.
you guys are
Yeah.
cracking me up. I've been laughing my head off. Yeah. Depends on choice, and where you find yourself. If you're in Nigeria, the situation will be different because there it's a man's world. But here in the West, you may have a choice. Not that you don't really have a choice, but as we grow, we learn and start to evolve. Matured men are not bad, but for me, I believe I've got no no issues with our African culture, but I dislike the way our men treat women on bed because um it takes two to tango. Most women, even at this day and age in Nigeria, who hasn't traveled, don't know they need to reach orgasm. You know that.
It's not compulsory.
You see, that is
You
selfish,
see, you
man.
see the
Who said
mentality.
that?
This the Gen
Who's
No,
that
no,
Z.
no, no,
baby
no, no.
It's
here?
It's
solely.
compulsory. It's compulsory. It's
Who is that
compulsory.
baby talking?
It's compulsory.
Let
Why
me
is it
tell you something.
compulsory?
Let me
Why
say
is it
It's
something.
compulsory?
it's
What
compulsory. Otherwise, you won't enjoy it. You
Adama,
won't
now I
enjoy it.
understand you.
what
Can I
purpose does it
finish,
serve?
please? Can I finish? So, there is this mentality back home. I think growing up, women kind of hide anything about sex. It is a taboo. And even when you try to please a man, you know, in bonding in bed, they have this ideology, oh, this one is wild. Then you cannot please an African man. You go this way, oh, this one is Ashawo. You go the other way, oh, this one don't even know how to do Naxin. And then how are you going to hold your relationship together? Because this is important in marriage. You may say a woman don't need orgasm in Nigeria, but if you bring that woman abroad and she watches movies or finds out from friends that there's orgasm is good. You need to experience it. Otherwise, it is very unfair on a woman. It is even part of a reproduction that it helps. It helps release tension. And in an African culture where a woman is treated as a sexual object, you know, you just come to the woman, command her to lie down, even when she's sick. You take it, you rip it off. You do as you like, front and back, whichever way. When I mean front and back, not through the anus, because it's not our culture. But then when the man lands, he falls asleep. That makes me like, oh man,
Hey,
that is
Lou, your experience.
disrespectful. That is disrespectful. Do you know what I mean? So
So
everything to
so
me.
from what we understand, you women have like 6
One
different kind
minute,
of orgasms.
Mike. Let me just. I'm giving you a kind of a broad picture.
Oh wow.
My sex, although it's very important, it's even more important than material in a relationship. To be honest, material is good for you to have things to say, okay, I have this, and then when you have it, how many houses can you stay in one time? You know, we Africans, we like to show off, do this. Who are you showing off to? Live your life. Be contented. If you want to achieve, go and achieve. You understand? But when it comes to this sexual thing, it is high time that women are allowed to enjoy making love, sex, or whatever you call it.
madam, please. You
I
know,
was supposed
the
to say
other hole is also good though, because the woman said the German woman will ask you
Please don't
to
say
go it.
that. Don't say
Yeah,
that. That's
but no,
disrespectful.
but if you want to
That is
get this ecstasy, that's where
no,
they
no,
get
no.
it quick.
It is this.
I'm
That's
just
not
passing
our
the
culture
information to you
now. What
guys.
are you trying to say now?
No, but
Dipsy?
not be with the
You
other
guys are
people, but
teaching
with
each
your
other
wife.
new things.
That is where you do
Yes.
you're supposed to
I think
excrete
I think you
from.
guys
You're
have
excreting
forgotten that we
from
are,
there.
are on YouTube. You want to have one man demonetized.
Yes.
So I
So
said the other hole. I said the other hole. Did I make mention of what she said before? I said the other hole is even where they get that their TC quick. The airplane will carry
we
you go land for Murtala Mohammed Airport.
so Mr. Tony. So let me just round up. Let me round up. For me, age is only a number, but maturity in a relationship is very important. And when you are matured, it's good to know that if you're blessed with whatever you have, you can share with your other person, not putting an embargo on it or restricting it. After all, when both of you are in a state of happiness, pleasing each other, respecting each other, things will move forward. Do you know what I mean? So if say and someone who is 20 years older, doesn't mean the person has a good experience. And then why would you cheat if you're with someone? Have you asked yourself that? So we
all right.
African brothers, please do your best in helping your wife to enjoy what you're enjoying, because it's not fair.
We
If
will
Because
think
when they find it out somewhere and they are doing it, you start saying they are cheating. Okay? So
we, we
please,
will we will put
if you want
that
to keep
into
your woman, let
consideration.
her come and teach her, learn from one another, and do not be judgmental. Be open. Okay? That's my
Okay,
contribution. Thank you.
we will put that
Thank
into
you. How about
into
Yeah.
Soli?
yeah, we will
Can
put
Soli go ahead? Yeah, I'll round off very soon, please. I'm tired. Yeah.
we will put that into consideration and think about it. But the, there's this lady top right with the jackets. I think it's cream. You said that when you got older, you realized that you want orgasm. Why? Why did you all of a sudden decide
Her
that? Why
name
were
is
you not
Dr.
just
Adama.
okay,
Soli.
Mrs.
Dr.
Dr.
Adama.
Adama?
Uh-huh.
My question. I'm not against it. You know, I give it, but why did you decide that now you want it, and before
Okay,
you
Sully.
didn't
Okay,
want it
now do you
before?
want me to answer your question or
Yes,
you're
please.
just being funny? Because I'm going to answer the question. So I
I'm
want you to
listening.
pay attention to what I'm saying.
Okay.
When I was in my 20s, when I grew up and when you're growing up are two different things. So my generation back then in my 20s, it was about having fun. Yes, do I know what our orgasm was? Yes. But my focus was how much, the length, whatever we were doing. So as you grow older, you get to know your body more. That's when you get to incorporate things that you normally won't do when you were in your 20s. Take for an instance, I don't know if you ever had the experience of giving a woman a head. We call it going downtown, licking the plate.
God
Of
forbid.
course, you see, you see why I say you're not matured. You need to learn some things here.
No,
Just take it
because
in.
because
No, just
because
take it in. No, listen, that's what I'm trying to educate you. Listen, you don't
Solly, listen to
necessarily
your
have to do.
aunties. Listen to your
You
aunties.
don't
Come on.
necessarily have to put your mouth there. We have choice. It's called roles. You incorporate it. For men who don't like doing that, you put it there. It does the work for you. So I believe you've learned something today now. You see, you don't have to do that. There are things you can incorporate to help you.
But
no,
that might,
Can I can
I
I
already
can I
do the
can
others,
I
but
ask
me,
a
I can
question?
never put my mouth there.
Can
Adama,
I
Solly, learn to just a lot now.
God forbid.
Yes, Chema, I'm listening to you. Chema, go ahead.
yeah, for some Christians, we're not, for Christian men, they're not encouraged to, go down south. And the reason why is because, when you do that, it takes away your glory, as a man. There's,
So
there's,
it doesn't take away my glory, me giving you a blowjob, right?
Yes.
I think
Really?
you're changing the topic. I was
It
talking
shows
about,
me how much
as
you
a
love me.
Christian, as a Christian, right? It takes away a man's glory. There's something spiritually it takes away from a man when you do that.
No, Chama, please don't go there with me, please. Because there is no a special entrance when it goes to heaven. When it comes to
I'm
heaven,
trying to educate you spiritually
no,
because
don't
you know
educate me
what?
spiritually, Choma.
It
I went to church and I know my
stands,
Bible.
it
No,
stands
no,
the
no, no,
man's
no,
growth.
no, no,
It
no,
stands the
no, no,
man's,
no,
wait,
no, no, no.
let me say one more thing, right? It stands the man's growth financially and in various ways of his life.
Lied to you?
From
So
what
hold on,
Who
hold on.
lied
Do you
to
have
you?
research to back up what you're saying, or
Who
you're
lied
just
to
saying
you?
it
Superstitious,
just to say it?
superstitious,
as a
superstitious.
As a
from
Christian.
as a Christian,
I don't go based on that. I go based on research and evidence. So sorry, Choma, I can't take that.
Adama, do you think Christ
We are
is the
not
reason why
Christians.
we're having
We're
problem with this
scientists. We are
bedroom
not
thing?
Christians here. We're scientists. Ṣùgbọ́n kò jẹ́ ká gbọ́ràn as a Christian. Ẹ wo, ẹ jẹ́ ká wá máa lọ. Wàhálà Chioma ti pọ̀ jù.
Better put your gear. Better put your
I
gear
think
in
Christ
reverse
brought problem
sometimes.
to Africa.
Drive
As a
front, drive
Christian.
back. Yes.
Ẹ má dá lóhùn as a Christian. Irọ́ náà ní gbogbo ẹ̀. Olóhùn ti
Superstitious.
I'm sure you'll be crying if they are doing it to you on bed. As a Christian. Ohun ẹ̀ títí rí yẹn agbádùn ẹ̀ bàjẹ́ Adama agbádùn ẹ̀ bàjẹ́ má dá lóhùn as a Christian.
Enter from back. Enter from back. I give you 2 minutes. 2 minutes. The woman will come. Enter from back.
Now you sabi, Mr. Tony.
Bye,
Now you
everyone.
sabi. Lou, thank you for coming, my sister. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. And I think we should have a session for Adama for sex education so that people like Soli and Chioma will come and learn how, how to enjoy themselves.
Tony Uko.
No, you are experienced now. You're experienced. It's people like Chioma and Soli that need the class, because I don't understand spirituality when it's Okwanobo's this thing. Why are you calling Bible? Why are you mentioning spirituality and all that? Enjoy yourself. And the most important thing here today is that don't let us box people into some certain roles. I'm so concerned about that. Some people can be a wife and they can be a very good baby mama. Yeah. Some people can be a good baby daddy, but they can't be a husband. That's one thing I want human beings to know now. Let us evolve to that level. Don't let us box people. Some women, Joel, they don't like to cook. Joel of Nashville, I want to tell you today, don't box them into that role. They don't like it, but they can be a good wife to you. So the moment we know that people are different, the better for each and every one of us to live at peace. Don't let's start boxing people into certain roles that men are not supposed to cry. If that man wants to let it down like that, leave him alone. Let him let it down. Don't compel him that he doesn't have to cry. If you feel so comfortable that he can cry in front of you, let him cry.
Don't cry, you. It's a
Stop
setup.
boxing people into a box. Somebody like Soli doesn't believe that he has to satisfy his woman. That's him.
I
Leave
didn't
him
say
alone to
that,
his problem.
oh. Slander.
Leave him alone to his problem. Do you understand? Let him continue
We have
like
a
that. Do you understand? So let us stop boxing people. That's why people are so psychologically damaged when society and the community are boxing them into a corner. That you have to be like this. You have to. Some people can be. Leave them. And don't box yourself. You, I'm talking to you. Don't box yourself into that role. It's not compulsory for you to be married. It's not. They are lying. There are more important things that you can do in this world and impact humanity. Go for it. If you feel like having a child without a husband, do it. If you can't see yourself like a wife, do not. Or yourself as a husband, do not. It is a lie. Let's change the narrative. That's what my program is for. Don't box yourself into a certain corner because the society has pronounced it that way. A man should not let down his emotions. A man should not cry. A woman should be cooking in the kitchen. No, I don't cook. Yeah, I'm a grown woman. I've been married for 24 years. I don't like it. I don't like the kitchen. I employ people to do it for me. It doesn't matter. And that doesn't mean I'm not a good mother to my boys. That doesn't mean I'm not a good wife to my husband. Do you understand? And we've talked about it here before. Somebody like me can do omugo. I can't. It is not in my nature. I can't do it. That doesn't mean I'm not a good mother or a good wife. Stop boxing people into a corner. That's my message this morning to everyone. So if anybody has something to, yeah, woman,
Dude,
go ahead.
check your phone. Check your phone.
Okay. Then let me call Adama first. I want to give people 2 minutes to round off with anything they want to discuss before we go. Yeah. Go ahead, Adama.
Thank you, Ms. Dupsy, for allowing us to have this show today. I just want to say, let's keep an open mind in whatever we do. And I always say this, let's learn to be human first. Be kind to people out there. You never know what people are going through. And at the same time, no matter what situation you find yourself right now, I want you to believe that it's going to get better. And let love lead. Thank you.
Thanks, Adama, my co-host, for always coming to support me. Thank you so much. Chioma, baby. Soft girl for life. Go ahead.
Well, I don't really have a final submission because we've just been all over the place. But my thing is, just do what makes you happy. If you want to marry an older man, for women, go ahead. If you want to marry a rich woman, go ahead. Whatever makes you happy. I think the most important thing is like what Adama says, respect and be kind to one another, But from the last topic we discussed, I just feel like, we shouldn't like shun people who don't do certain things in the bedroom. There's nothing wrong with that. People have, their culture and their beliefs, their religion. So there's nothing wrong if you don't go down south, guys. There's nothing wrong with that. As long as you know what you're doing, that's all that matters. So I will leave it at that. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Chioma, my co-host. Thank you for always coming to support every Sunday. Thank you so much. Who is this next person after Mike? I can see the names. Woman, can you help me put the names there so that I can call them? I can't see that person. Yeah. There's somebody here. Is that, I don't know. I don't know who that person
Sorry,
is. One man.
the
Yeah.
app is not picking up the name, but it's
Oh,
ASAP.
okay. ASAP. Go ahead, please.
Yeah. Well, it has been a very good conversation. We look forward to many of such to come. I still am of the opinion that I mean, if men shouldn't show emotions, and I understand your position that we shouldn't box people into this into one corner. But then if you are going to say that, I feel you're going to have to also say to the women and tell them that, okay, if men do show their emotions, don't use it against them, as we've seen in the past. So that's my position on that. I don't feel the generality of women. But I would just say it this way, that everyone should customize their relationship. Everyone should customize their marriage. Do what is best between you and your partner. That way, and because if we're saying we're not going to box people in towards the man, then we're also not going to box people towards the woman. If Choma wants a relationship that is more traditional, I believe she has a right to that. And that's what I would just say. And I'm looking forward to those future discussions where we could be able to tailor some of these things better.
Yeah, thank you. Who is the next person? One man. I can't even see that person. Is that Lou? There's
No,
somebody.
that's Tony. You have Tony next.
Okay, Tony. Yeah.
Yes, thank you very much. Thank you very much. Well, I'm happy to see DOG there. DOG, so how are you? Bao Niu, long time. So anyway, then thank you very much. So men do cry. The real men do cry. If you don't cry, then you go to other psychological. You get problem. If you cry, then you relieve your stress, and then it's the biggest medicine. Even sometimes when you dream, you see some of your dead relatives, you do wake up and start to cry, and then you relieve yourself of any stress that might lead you to go to the doctor for useless, or you go to cemetery. So you have to cry. They're not ashamed about that. Just like the other room and something activity. When you go to the other room, you can also go to the other areas. Okay, Alice Clark. Okay, or the you German. Alice Clark is okay. Thank you very much, everybody. Wama, great to hear your voice tonight. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you, Dupsy. Not so much. I'm today. I'm very happy with you. You are not keeping our Africanness real. Okay, bye.
Thank you, Tony. Yeah, who's the next person? I can't say the names, woman.
I'm
No, well,
here.
I think we've got Lou coming back to give her closing
Okay,
remarks.
Lou. Okay, yeah. And that's Bear, right? One man. I
Yep.
I know her. Yeah, I
Of
know Bear
course,
very well.
unmistakably, we are Bia
Yeah.
Odua to
I
Ismiri,
know.
now Lou.
You're welcome back, Bear.
Thank you,
Yeah. Thank you
darling.
for
Thank
coming.
you.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Um, for me, everyone is different and unique. Although we speak here, but um, we may not know each other in total. But every voice is unique and counts. For me, respect is number one before material, because on the foundation of respect, two people can communicate and then take things further. Everything else follow. Material will come. I believe in union. That's what I believe in. And the boxing up of men or women into categories like, this is the way men think, this is the way men behave, this is the way women think, this is the way women behave, doesn't work like that. Culture plays a role, environment plays a role, exposure play roles, parents also play roles, religion plays roles on the way people think and behave. Although they may say a lot of women will go for money first of all before anything else. For me, I rather go for respect, because if you give me money and disrespect me, I rather, you know, I don't want to know. You can eat your money. Money is for wiping the backside. I believe you can command money. Yeah, if you work hard, you will get the money. But respect is reciprocal. Support is important in a relationship, and communication is as well important. Don't disrespect me. We will not get along. All right, then that's me. Thank you guys for having me. And bye bye for now.
All
Thank you
right, thank
so
you.
much.
So
Yeah.
next up
Yeah.
can do.
Can do.
Yes, great, great, great stuff, ladies. Thank you for coming back because we thought We might have to have a congressional request to have you all back or something. So this is a good space. All in all, I believe like life is about people. It's not about things. We need to find people in our lives that we can go through this journey of life with. For those who are lucky and fortunate enough to grow into their 70s and 80s, you can have someone to chronicle all the good, the bad, and not so good with. Find good people, find love, find devotion, and go through life with somebody. Thank you.
Thank you.
Can do. I agree to.
Joel is back again.
I'd agree too. I'd agree. I'd agree. I'd agree.
We'll talk later. We'll talk later.
Yeah, we'll talk later. All right.
Already.
Okay. One man, is Joel the next person? Who's the next person?
Now, actually, the next up is Solly.
Solly. Okay, Solly, go ahead.
Okay, I just want to say two things. Don't lick plate, oh, don't lick plate. That's where other men finish, and it's very easy to catch disease as a woman there. Even it doesn't even have to be sex. They can just sit down on somewhere in public or on somebody's toilet and catch disease, and you now want to go and lick it. Run, oh, just use your hands or toys maximum. And when they say cry in front of your woman, it's a setup. Oh, don't cry, because the moment you start crying, even if someone in your family cry, don't cry in front of your woman, no, because that's the moment she'll start seeing your gate man as more attractive than you, because your gate man will be more manly. At least the gate man doesn't cry like a bitch, and that's when they'll start sleeping with the gate man. Don't cry, you have been warned. Even if some women
imagine that.
will
Imagine
not,
the way you think.
even if some women will not belittle you, but that's a very tiny percent, less than 1% of women. The rest are. So thank you for this time.
Thank you, Solly. Gen Z Buddy, thank you for coming. Okay, who's the next person?
Next up is Dewale.
Dewale. Is Dewale here?
Hey, Deucey baby, I missed you, man. I missed you. Listen, I heard one of my favorite topics, and I was like, wait, I need to stop by, and it just, I didn't even know what the topics are today, but good job. I heard about sex, and that's one of my favorite. Red wine and sex is the best thing God ever gives to mankind. So, for that reason only, look, guys, suck, lick, do whatever. You have one life to live. Thank you, Deuce. That's what I've got.
Thank you, Adewale. May God help you. Thank you for coming, Adewale. Joel. I think Joel is here.
Yeah, I am here. I am here.
Hey, but Adana has left now. Why are you here again?
I came here. My network was bad also, so I forgot to say goodbye to her. I guess she's listening. If she's listening, I want to say goodbye to her. She spoke well. Well, to the issue today, I always believe, and my belief is that men should remain men, and women should remain women. Our roles are distinct and also interchangeably. So please, if you're a man, stick to it. Do not fall for all these culture coming from the West. They've not been able to fix themselves. When you come to their society, you see what is going on in there, and you get shuddered. So that cannot be an example. Fela said, teacher, don't teach me nonsense. So we can make ours better, and we can keep pushing for better days. But to say that we should just discard what we have and take the culture of the West, I think that would be suicidal. Then on the issue
I didn't
of
mention any culture. I said stop boxing people, human beings. Stop boxing human beings into a corner. I'm not talking about any culture. It's all about human brain.
For the same reason we have standards. For the same reason we have standards, right? We have standards, and in life there must be standards.
Because of your
it's
culture.
Okay. It's okay. But the issue there is that we have standards in life, and you either fit in or you fit out. That's the way the world is.
The real world don't care about emotions. So we just have to do what we got to do as men. And for those that want to go down, it's up to you. If you want to go down, go down. I don't think there's anything bad in it. Solely, you can pick up disease from toilet as a man or as a woman. It doesn't matter. Yes, the women are more likely to, but just play safe out there. Thank you very much. And Dupsy, you've been great. And let's keep it. Let's do it again.
Thank you, Joel. Thanks so much for coming to support. Thank you so much. And that's my brother, Mike. Let me hear you. Mike, are you
Hey,
still with
okay. So on this issue of crying, this is my take. The answer is yes and no. What brings, what gives you reason to cry, to want to cry? It's an emotion that over that comes into you when you're facing obstacle. Now, you don't cry when you're facing an obstacle. You cry after you overcome the obstacle. That cry is called the tears of joy. You understand? You only cry when you have won the World Cup, not when you are still battling to win. During the battle, maybe you are losing. Now you break down, start crying. Are you kidding me? No, you are not. That you are not a man. When you join the army, the process of becoming a soldier, you go through obstacles. They pull out obstacles in your way. You can't face those obstacles and cry as a soldier. No, you have to overcome those obstacles. The emotion that comes through you during that obstacle is that emotion is there. That emotion is supposed to take it to as a tool to overcome the obstacle, not as a um what's the word, tool to cry, or whatever. What's the word? Or, it's as a reason to cry. Sorry, that emotion is there for you to overcome, to face the obstacle. So what you need to do when dealing with such emotion is to start thinking and start strategizing and start accepting that this is what I have to deal with as a man. That's what a man is in life. You become a conqueror. You understand? You When you become a soldier, now you become a defender of a nation. As a man, when you're facing tough situations, don't start crying. It's time for you to toughen up and start thinking how to overcome that situation. And when you overcome that situation, now you become a even more greater man. And when the greater man you become, the even more a woman will respect you, because now you know become a defender of the family, defender of your environment, defender of your nation. So as a man, when facing obstacles, don't start crying. When facing tough situations, don't start crying. It's time for you to deal with the problem. Just be positive. That's what I would say. Is the moment you start thinking positive, not negative, and face whatever it is in front of you. It's only women are allowed to cry, because a woman is supposed to cry for help, for the help of the man to come and solve the problem, not for a man to be crying. Who are you crying to come and help you? For your woman to come and solve the problem? That's why your woman will lose respect for you, because you're supposed to face the problem and solve it. It's not. It's your job. No one is going to solve your problem for you in this life. It's only women that can call on men to come and solve their problems. So come on. I mean, not all their problems, but some of their problems. So as a man, yes. When do you cry? After you overcome the obstacle, not before the obstacle. That's mine. So when I say yes, it's okay to cry. Yeah. When you have overcome the obstacle, when you won the World Cup, now it's time to lift the trophy. Now it's time for you to cry tears of joy. You understand? So that's what I believe. All right.
Yeah, thank you so much. Thank you, everyone, for coming. The most important thing is for people to know that their mental health is very important. I repeat, don't let the society box you into a corner. If you are a man, you can't be crying every day. Even women don't cry every day. But once in a while, if you feel like letting it down, please do. Do not mind all those people talking here. Most of them, they're either on substance or taking something to relieve their tension. But if you're okay, you're not taking any substance, make sure you let it down when you feel overwhelmed. Don't mind them. It's about where people's mental health here. That's why the world at large, there's a lot of sick people there, because they're boxing people into a corner. That a man cannot cry. It's only women that are allowed to cry. Says who? Don't mind them. I'm telling you. Let it down if you feel like, in front of your woman, in front of your friends, wherever you feel comfortable. When you're overwhelmed, people don't cry all the time. People only cry when they're overwhelmed or when they are sad. So let it down that way. Don't box people into a corner. If you feel your coping mechanism is to take Igbo when you're not okay, that's you. But don't teach that to others. That's why we have a lot of insane people all over the world. Even check the leaders all over the world. Most of them are not normal because of all these narratives that people say that don't cry as a man. Says who? We have to be careful about the narratives that we, spit out. Leave people alone. Let them do what they feel comfortable to do at all times. So that is my sermon this morning. I thank everyone for coming to support me, my co-host Chioma, Adama, and Beer. I'm expecting you again next week, Beer, because I love ladies to always come and support me. I have not seen Princess for a long time. Princess, I love you. Make sure you come next week. And woman, can you bring up the people that gave us gifts so that we can say thank you to them? Talk by O, thank you so much for always coming to support us. Jay Nzola, thank you so much, my brother, for always coming. Alexander Gomez, hello, sir. Ekwa Jometa, that's the chairman of this platform. Thank you so much. And that's Ayo, brother Miolowo. Ayo, thank you so much for always coming to support One Man's platform. And that's Ayo again. That's Tokwe O. Thank you so much, Tokwe, for always coming here to support One Man's platform. Alexander Gomez again. Thank you so much, sir, the chairman of One Man's platform. Thank you so much. And that's me saying thanks, everyone, for attending our Sunday sermon. This is a sermon that we like to enlighten people. And DOG, thank you so much, my brother, for showing up today. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Ayo again. Thank you, Ayo. Brother Abiolu, always supporting us. Thank you so much, Ayo. And Tokpe O again. Thank you, Tokpe, for always coming to support. Thank you. We appreciate it. And Joel, thank you. Men don't cry. Joel of Nigeria, thank you, my brother. Thank you for always coming to support. Fourth, thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. Chioma, that's my baby girl. Thank you, Chioma, for always coming to support us every Sunday. And we are global. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. We're global. And thank you, everyone, for always coming to support us every Sunday morning for this program. And I'll say thank you to my boss, woman. You know, I've got nothing but love for you, woman. Thank you for always giving me this opportunity. Okay, see you guys next Sunday. God bless you all.